The hill crew has been working so hard lately. The volunteers have been working since the World Cup here in Lake Placid on the large hill and have been spending a lot of their days here. But it's been really, really great to see both of these venues being used at the highest level. The ski jumping complex and of course Mount Van Hovenberg, where the cross-country action happens. Now the men's normal hill is the team competition is a very exciting competition. A lot can happen. This is the second to last event for some of these athletes. The top 2 jumpers will continue on tomorrow or on Sunday for the mixed team. So there you have 2 men, 2 women. Of course, you have some of the outliers that are competing in both ski jumping and Nordic Combined, and they are definitely staying busy. So that is action-packed weekend, and looks like we are 1 minute away from the start. On your screen now, you are seeing the results from the Nordic Combined jumping. Sun is setting. Chilly temperatures, but not too bad. Minus 6.7 degrees Celsius. So overall, great conditions for jumping. The hill is in great shape. The hill packers have been up and down the hill many, many times over the last week. We're excited to be welcoming our friends from all across the world here to Lake Placid. Now take in this beautiful aerial view of the jumping complex. On the right, you'll see the large hill. On the left is the hill we're jumping on today. That is the hill size 100. Here you can see Bernie Schodler, our FIS coordinator, equipment control, TD Andi Bauer from Germany, Susan Tak, assistant TD, and of course, chief of competition today, Evan Bliss from the US. Judges on your screen now. Luca from Slovenia, Vahur from Estonia, Jong-sun from Korea, Matt Coiler from the US, and Matteo Dunhofer from Italy. 5 judges, high and low, get dropped and combined with the distance points, plus gate and wind compensation. So there are a lot of factors that play into it, but as the rounds progress, you'll definitely get a hang of it if you're new to ski jumping. On your screen now, you're seeing the makeups of the teams. There are 11 teams, 4 athletes per nation. And looking at the order, the final team to jump is Austria. They are the defending junior world champions in the team event. Last year's podium was Austria, Germany, Poland. But of course, as some of the athletes age out, things change. There's a shakeup in the team. But looking up the hill now, we have our first athlete on the bar. It's very exciting to finally see some jumps today. All right, here we go. From the Czech Republic, Stepan Kiesel. .76.5-meter ride. Overall, a solid start. I mean, it's been a very long day for these athletes. And of course, that will put them into the lead for now. The exciting thing about the team comp is we can see they can change the gates between groups. So in case they do need to make any adjustments for the speed, that's pretty easy to do. Our next athlete representing Japan is on the bar now. This is Taiyo Mori. Here he comes. Good looking jump for Taiyo, bringing the height and flying down the hill.
Nice jump right around that 79-80-meter mark for Mori. A good start for the Japanese team. 79.5
Coming in with a distance of 79.5 meters. So that will be the furthest jump we've seen, but there is a lot to come. And this is just setting the scene. They are coming out of gate 16 for now. And wind points look pretty good here. On your screen, you're seeing the data for the ski jump. There you can see the bottom 2. Very important. K point 90, hill size 100. But on the bar now is bib number 3 from Kazakhstan. This is Daniil Badenko. Little late on the timing, feet hanging under him, and that's really what's holding him back. It's great to see Kazakhstan here. You know, for some nations it's not guaranteed to have 4 athletes competing at this level. And so we're excited to see Kazakhstan in the mix, but for now they will be in 3rd place. Looking up the hill, our next athlete is on the bar now and waiting to beat. You can see in the top right of your screen 74.5 meters. So this is an estimation based on how the conditions are on the hill, like I spoke to before, the wind compensation. So if the wind is moving up the hill, that's called headwind, and that makes it easier to fly, so you'll get slight deductions for that. But here he comes. This is Erneli Kortila from Finland. Beautiful jump close to that K point, a little bobble at the end. Let's see if the judges reflect on that, but that was definitely the largest jump that we've seen today. 85 meters, getting close to that K point. And those are the types of jumps that we want to see. Looking at the wind, minus 2.2, so great to see that the decision to really delay the competition is definitely paying off. It's important, especially in the team comp, because so much can happen. It's really critical that it's fair and that we can run the competition smoothly. And that's what we're doing here. Next up, this is Mats Strandbraten from Norway. Carrying height and speed, also getting close to that bottom of the blue zone. So we haven't seen any jumps crack into that 90 plus meter range, but that was 82.5 meters for Mats and puts him into 2nd place, but only half a point back from Finland. So that's where you can see the wind points really making a difference. It's shorter in distance, but it came together. All right, for all of the U.S. fans, they have been waiting for this moment for a long time. We are finally ready, kicking off the day with none other than Jason Colby. Jason sitting on the bar now. He has had a very bumpy season, excited to be returning here for Junior Worlds. Had a collarbone injury, but he is back, and we're excited for him. Here it comes, Jason Colby. Jason carrying speed, and that was the furthest jump that we've seen today. Great job for Jason. The U.S. team really trying to bring their best. I feel like the U.S., they really excel when it comes to the team events. We saw that at the World Cup last weekend, and Jason Colby with a beautiful 90.5 meter jump, getting rewarded by the judges, and a huge 15.9 point lead ahead of Finland. So that'll be a great start for the U.S. team. Of course, they have some strong athletes left up there. We'll see how it all pans out. But the next challenger is already on the bar, waiting for the green light. This will be Switzerland, so still to come. Switzerland, Slovenia, Poland, Germany, Austria. Here comes Felix Truns from Switzerland. Very smooth, hardly any movement, and also flying down the hill close to that K point. So let's see what that comes out for distance. 91.5 meters. Very solid effort for Felix. Swiss team really building up the development, and great to see them right here in the hunt and taking the lead 3.3 points ahead of the United States. On the bar now, Slovenia. Slovenia, a very strong ski jumping nation, but they were not on the podium in last year's Junior World Championships, so they are definitely looking for redemption. Here comes Urban Simic from Slovenia. Power height extension, also getting close to that 90 plus meter range, but again, 89 meters, so not quite in the 90 meter range. And that means that the performances we saw from the U.S. team and Switzerland were very strong. Slovenia into 3rd place, 6 points back from the lead. Next 3 nations to come. Last year's podium. First up comes Poland, last year's bronze medalists. Poland has been struggling a bit on the men's side in the World Cup, not having the results that they want this year, but usually the junior teams are under different coaching staff, so although you're representing the same country, sometimes things are very different on the junior side. But here he comes. This is Klemens Joniak from Poland. Klemens with a lot of height and also flying down around that red zone, around that K point. It's where the style points are really going to be important. 91.5 meters. So we've seen another jump like that and puts Poland between Switzerland and the US into second place. 2.2 points back from Switzerland. I don't think going into this competition anybody was betting on Switzerland being on the podium, but let's see how long they can hang on to this. 2 teams left in the first group. Next contender, bib number 10 with the green light. Here he comes. This is Max Unglaube from Germany. Good jump. Soaring down, but not enough. Also coming up a little bit short of that red line of the K point. Waiting for the scores to come in. 87.5 meters. Decent style marks, but sliding Germany into 5th place behind Slovenia. Current 1, 2, 3, Switzerland, Poland, United States of America, with 1 team remaining at the top. This, of course, when I say that, I'm just referring to the first group. So this is bib number 11-1, the final jumper in group 1 of the first round. We'll see 4 groups in the first round before cutting to the top 8 teams. But these are the defending junior world champions in the team event. Here he comes, Simon Steinberger from Austria. A lot of height and a huge jump. That will put Austria in the commanding lead. We don't even need to wait for the scores to come in. That was a fantastic jump. We've seen very stable wind conditions, so there's not going to be a huge difference there. 95 meters. Solid landing, 18, 17 fives from the judges. And that puts Austria into the top spot, 7.2 points ahead of Switzerland. So after the first group, we have Austria, Switzerland, Poland, 1, 2, 3. Team USA sitting in a strong 4th place right now. For the countries looking to make the cut, they are trying to make it into the top 8. We have Norway currently in 8th, Japan 9, Czechia 10, Kazakhstan 11. On your screen now, you can see the points. Look at the difference between Finland and Norway. Hardly anything right now. So the top 8, we'll see how that pans out. But again, 3 groups left at the top for the first round. We're going to be seeing a 4-jumper. And I'm seeing on my screen here, start gate up to gate 17. So 1 more gate of speed, which that hopefully will give us some far jumps for this second group. Like I said, they have the freedom to move the groups around from different gates, which is a little bit different than in a normal ski jumping competition where they don't really like to move it around as much. But since you have so few athletes in a group, it's not that hard to match the speed for only 11 jumpers. So we're seeing some trial jumpers, and getting ready up at the top will be the first member of our second group, so bib 1-2. So there you see gate 17 up from 16. Oh, and it looks like he's coming back off the bar. From my vantage point, I cannot say what's going on up there, but maybe they're just waiting to make sure that they made the right choice in gate before continuing on in the competition. And just so you know, regardless of the results within these groups, we're going to continue in the same order that we saw from the first round. So you won't be seeing any reflection of the current standings in the first round. Looking at the wind screen on your right, bottom right of your screen, you can see usually we want the arrows to be moving up the hill. Luckily, the wind speeds aren't too strong. So unless the graphics are showing red, it is within the corridor for fair jumps. The athletes trying to stay warm up at the top. Reflecting on that first group, I'm a little bit surprised to see Slovenia, Germany, and Norway a little further back than I expected. Slovenia, obviously a very strong ski jumping nation, currently sitting in 5th. Germany 6th, and Norway back in 8th. It'll be interesting to see how this pans out. Of course, the coaches decide who to put in which group, so it's not necessarily based on ranking. You can't say that the strongest athlete will be in the last group guaranteed, although that is usually how it pans out. So sometimes that last group will be skiing from a little bit lower of a gate. But for now, we're just going to wait and see. We're waiting for the wind. I found that American flag in the top right, looking on the knoll of the large hill, that's a very good indication of how things look out there. It's pretty calm right now, so that is good news for us. Glad to have all of the sports fans from Europe staying up late. And just so you remember, the action doesn't end with the men's team. We will have the women also this evening, 7 p.m. local time. So for all of you wanting to start the day the right way, midnight competition, we're happy to see you here in Lake Placid on the Mackenzie Intervale ski jumps. Seems we have another 4 jumper, and we'll be soon ready to go into the group number 2. Back onto the bar now. Bib number 1-2 from Czechia. Czechia currently in 10th position, so they are looking to move up a couple of spots to secure their spot in the top 8 for the second round. Waiting for the green light, and he has it. So here we go, kicking off group number 2. Filip Krenek from Czechia. Powerful from the takeoff. Left ski getting a little out of control, but really making it down the hill. Sometimes it's important to just get closer to that, try to close the gap between the top 8. And you can really do that incrementally. Filip doing a great job, 79.5 meters. Obviously putting Czechia into the lead for now. 10 teams to go in group number 2. At the top now, with the green light, here comes our next competitor from Japan, Saigo Sasaki. A little aggressive, and that is a bummer for Team Japan. You could see very confident in his direction, but hard to say what the wind conditions are doing out there. But you could tell if we get the replay, his tips just didn't come up, and that's going to be tough. Japan into second place for now with that 75.5 meter jump. Here comes our next competitor from Kazakhstan. Daniel Cullington. Solid jump around that. Also 80 meters. Kazakhstan really trying to make their way up there. We're currently sitting down towards the bottom of the rankings. And that puts Kazakhstan into third behind Japan. Current top three: Czechia, Japan, Kazakhstan. Next up, from Finland, here comes Tuomas Mais. Much better jump, a lot more height, and you could see he really soared down the hill. That is critical. Any jump close to that 90 meters is perfect for this team event. It keeps the teams in the mix, and Finland will be very pleased with that effort. Gives them a huge 39.1 point lead ahead of Czechia. Look at that beautiful extension, flying down into that telemark landing. Great effort for Finland. So Norway really looking to climb in the ranks, secure their spot in the top 8, maybe bump closer to the podium. Here comes Alvin Lee. Also very aggressive. In this tailwind conditions, you need to be careful. That was very much on the edge. That was an 83-meter effort for Alvin. You can tell very confident in the direction, but on this hill it's really important to be powerful in the takeoff and let it have time to build so that you can really fly down the hill. That being said, if you jump a little bit too cautiously, a little too vertical, you're going to lose a lot of speed over the knoll. But if there's one person that knows this hill better than anybody else, that is most definitely this next competitor. From the NICEF Ski Club, here he comes. This is Henry Lohr. Little late on the timing, but flying down the hill, also right in that 90-meter zone. So like I said, that's exactly what the teams want in order to keep them in the mix. 88.5 meters for Henry. Henry really doing an incredible job here in Lake Placid, stepping up. This is a very high level of competition, and he's showing us a lot of consistency and very calm under the pressure of this large event. So I'm very impressed with what we've seen from Henry. Puts the U.S. into the lead for now, 15.2 points ahead of Finland. Switzerland, remember, very strong in that first round. Now I'm curious to see if they have the depth within the team to keep them in podium contention. Swiss team seeing a lot of positive development over the past few years. Also on the top stage, they sometimes have a competitive four-man World Cup team. Gregor Deschwanden up in the hunt in the World Cup right now. But here comes Marius Sieber. Ooh, Marius, that is not the biggest distance that we've seen. Ooh, and that's going to be tough. 78.5 meters. He knows what he's done. The Swiss team obviously would love to be on the podium, but I would say, rule of thumb, you got to get close to 90 meters. And that was 78.5, so puts Switzerland into second place for now. Team USA in the lead. Now looking to take Switzerland's spot on the podium. Here comes our next competitor, Nick Bergant-Simarians from Slovenia. Late on the timing and also coming up short. That is a little surprising, honestly. 79.5. Not much we can say about the win points, but actually that puts Slovenia into fourth position. Wow. Moving right down the field, right behind Finland right now. Top three, USA, Switzerland, Finland.
Slightly ahead of Norway in fourth, but I think they're hoping for a little bit more. And our next team will be
next contender, last year's bronze medalist team, Simon Brzyk from Poland. Oh, there we go. That was closer to that 85 meters. Bierski from Poland looking to bring his team back into the mix, back into podium contention. 85.5 meters and 0.7 points ahead of the United States. So Poland currently leading the way with only 2 athletes remaining in Group 2. We'll be seeing Germany and Austria. First to come, Germany on the bar now. The team event is so exciting because everybody really needs to perform close to their top abilities. If you have one slip up, it can put the entire team out of the running. But here comes Germany's Alex Reiter. Alex very powerful from the takeoff, flying over that K point. You saw right in the middle there, his skis kind of bobbled a little bit, a little down, but he stayed with it. Germans known for their power. Here you can see how much height he had, but an 89-meter effort. Not the best style points, so 16.5s. And because of that, Germany slipping down into 3rd position behind the United States. 1 athlete to go in the second group. Austria with a great jump in the first round to beat only 81 meters, so that shows what kind of points we're dealing with. Here he comes. This is Lucas Hagen. Ooh, flying a little behind in the second half. Lucas Hagen from Switzerland, from Austria, still getting the distance, but not the cleanest jump I've seen from this athlete. 89 meters, so that will clearly give Austria the lead. 14.2 points ahead of Poland. So that's another shakeup after Group 2. Austria, Poland, and the big surprise for me, United States in 3rd. Take a look at the current standings. There still is a lot of movement that can happen. 2 athletes remain for the first round. 2 groups, rather, so 2 athletes per nation. Remember, they're looking to stay in the top 8 to get another chance in that second round.
2 groups of 11 jumpers. We're going to take a little bit of a break. They're going to have some of the
You can see a crowd gathered at the bottom. It's been a definite challenge for these sports fans. They've probably spent a lot of time at the hill today, but hopefully got to enjoy the beautiful sunshine. It was a little windy, but a beautiful sunny day here in Lake Placid. Maybe they got a chance to go out on the cross-country course when they heard of the delay. And looking up the hill now, I'm seeing some movement in the starting
these standings pretty quickly. Again, the U.S.
Let's see where we end up. Remember, the first group was from gate 16, second group from 17. And still waiting to see what happens now. So they are in fact moving up 1 more gate. So we'll be coming out of start 18 for the 3rd group. And again, after the second group, we see Austria, Poland, USA, 1, 2, 3. Poland, 0.7 points ahead of the US. And speaking of local talent, we saw Henry Lohr, but we will also be seeing Tate France. We remember silver medalist from the individual event. So it's going to be exciting to see how Group 3 develops. There's a trial jumper making sure that the hill stays clear, and he seems already finished. So here we go. Coming out of start 18, so 2 gates up from the start of the competition. From Czechia. Czechia currently one of those teams that's currently outside of the top 8, so he's looking for a massive jump to bring Czechia back into the mix. Daniel Skarka. And there it is. That's more like it. Like I said, any jump close to that 90-meter mark is one to watch. 87.5 meters for Daniel. Side note, we are coming from gate 18, so a little bit more speed. I think we're hoping to see some exciting jumps. There you can see very patient over the knoll. His skis didn't come right away, but look at that beautiful rotation that he got in the second half. Really flying it down. 17 fives from the judges, so being rewarded for that, and that will definitely put Czechia into the lead. But on we go with Japan, Ritsuta Sugiyama. Ritsuta also carrying the speed, very low angle with the upper body, and with this extra gate, it seems the athletes are absolutely loving it. 86.5 meters for Ritsuta. And that puts Japan into second place, 6.1 points back from the leader, Czechia. All right, looking at to the top now. From Kazakhstan, Ilya Mizernik. Athletes are loving the conditions right now. This is absolutely perfect for jumping. We can continue at this pace. It is awesome. 87 meters for Ilya. And it goes to show
Kazakhstan.
one or two extra gates and the athletes start really to fly. That was a great effort for Kazakhstan, putting them into fourth place at the moment. So actually third in this third group. Austria still ahead of them, but they haven't even jumped yet. All right, at the top now, from Finland, our next competitor, Eli Karanen. Eli not with the distance that he wanted. Ooh, that's going to be rough. 78.5 meters. And for some of the nations with not as much depth, they are really trying to just stay competitive. Other countries, they have brought 5 strong athletes and actually had to choose who to start in the competition. Other ones maybe don't have the reserves. Finland into the lead now. But let's see how long they can hold on. All right, here comes the next athlete, Odd Harald Svengsen Fjeld. Probably one of the best names from Norway. Look at that jump. Great, and the Norwegian fans are cheering. That looked to be close to that 90 meters, that K point, 87 meters. Very confident flyer. Let's see if he gets rewarded for that telemark. Yeah, nice looking style points. And Norway into the lead ahead of Finland. Current top 3, Norway, Finland, Czechia. But this is a critical moment. Now, for all of the ski jumping fans, this is a name we don't know as well, but he has been training very hard in Slovenia. Let's see what he can show us. Bryce Klock from the United States. Great looking jump for Bryce. Let's go. He's in the mix. You could see maybe losing a little points for the telemark, but 85 meters. Ooh, and that's where it gets critical. Judges' scores coming in. You saw that little squat down there close to that fall line. But incredible jump from Bryce. But watch this. Ooh, see, he loses points there. Bryce with a great distance and a great jump. USA into the lead. All right, next athlete from Switzerland trying to get back onto the podium, Noah Studer. Noah also jumping, I think, a decent effort for him. You can see he seems pleased with that, 82.5 meters. So that will not be enough to take the lead from the U.S. team. Waiting for the scores to come in. Solid effort, maximizing the surface area, very flat with the skis, and definitely getting some extra points from the judges. So USA ahead of Switzerland, ahead of Norway. Slovenia at the top now. Here comes our next athlete. This is Ene Faletic from Slovenia. Great looking ride way over that K point, and he is very pleased. Look at those reactions. Like I said, the team competition is a different animal. I mean, you're not only jumping for yourself anymore, you're trying to do your best to represent your nation and keep your team in the hunt. That was a great ride for an A. He'll be very pleased with that. And sure enough, put Slovenia into the lead, 4.1 points ahead of the United States. 3 athletes to go in this group. Up next, this is Vitor Sozda from Poland. Ooh, confident. Close to that red line. 89.5 meters. Kind of a unique flying style for him. Let's see if we get the replay. That very quick to open his V. And then very aggressively pulling away from with his upper body. You can't really see it from this angle. But good looking telemark rewarded from the judges. We see 118 from the Korean judge. Puts Poland into the lead. 2 athletes to go. Next up, Jan Kuhlmann from Germany. Jan with a lot of height. Germans are known for their power and great effort for him. We're seeing a lot of athletes are very excited. This is group 3, so you never know who you're going to see in here. 91.5 meters for the German athlete. You can see he's definitely relieved. It's great to have a performance like that. Not much to say about that landing. Better style even, 18s from the judges. And Germany actually moving into second place, 0.3 points behind Poland. So that's nothing. But we're moving along quickly. Next athlete, Nikolaus Hummel from Austria. Nikolaus low angle, but flying down over that K point. Didn't have quite the power that we saw from the German athlete, so he didn't have the height, but so confident and direct in his takeoff. Let's watch this again. No movement in the air. And a 92.5 meter effort for Nikolaus. And Austria into the lead. So we have a shakeup again. Now the top 3. Austria still at the top, but Poland into second as they were in the first, and Germany moving back into the podium contention into third place. But look at the scores. It's very close up there. Austria, the commanding lead ahead of second, but right now I still think that the podium is up for grabs. And we're moving into this 4th group. So sometimes I would put the strongest athlete in this group. We'll probably see the gate go down a little bit. Remember, we were 16, 17, 18 for the gates. Now let's see how the jury reacts. Austria, Poland, Germany, currently 1, 2, 3. Austria, of course, we haven't seen yet. Our junior world champion will be waiting at the top, last to jump, Stefan Embacher. So that will definitely be the mark to beat, but he's last to come, so we will have to be patient. Sure enough, jury reaction down to gate 16. So right back to where we started. But still, I think that's enough speed, and the wind seems to be super calm. So I think we can still see some jumps around that 95 to 100 meter range, which is where it gets really exciting. Now looking onto your screen, these are the remaining jumpers. Tate France from the US, Yuri Caselli from Switzerland, Žiga Jansar from Slovenia. Yeah, it's going to be very thrilling. And there's your final jumper, Embacher, Stefan Embacher from Austria. He is the champion on this hill. So let's see what they can do. Austria, of course, sitting comfortably in the lead, 21.9 points ahead of Poland. So Stefan doesn't need to quite knock it out of the park on this one. I think he'd be fine with a 90-ish effort, but I don't think he's trying to hold back right now.
Yeah, we're starting out with a trial jumper between rounds, but it seemed like in that last group they really wanted to keep the pace moving.
So we just saw a trial jumper fly down the hill. And soon we'll be kicking it off with the competition. This is group number 4. I know it's moving very quickly. Jury's doing their best to give fair conditions, and if the weather's right, we're just going to roll right through it. There you can see start gate number 16, so right back to where we started in group 1.
Of the FIS Nordic Junior World Ski Championships in ski jumping. We're looking at
Looking at the graphic, it seems that there's a light headwind. I'm not going to count on that, but here we go. From Czechia, David Riegel. David not finding his skis on that jump. You could see his whole flight he was waiting for that right tip especially to come up to really catch the air, but not working out that well for him. 77.5 meters. And guys, this is where it really matters. We are now going to be cutting to 8. So some of these countries need to really bring their best jumps, otherwise they're not going to get another chance in the second round. Czechia into the lead. So Japan, one of the nations that's going to need to move up. They were sitting back a few places from qualifying after the 3 groups. So we'll see what the next athlete can show us. The light is green. And here he comes from Japan, Asahi Sakano. And a very, very respectable effort for him. It was close to that 85-meter mark, 86.5 meters. And remember, we're coming from gate 16, so that's 2 gates down from the previous group. There isn't much wind out there to help at all. Actually, looking at wind, plus 8.5, so that means it's tailwind. Asahi really mastering that quite well, and Japan into the lead for now. Top 2, Japan, followed by Czechia. Japan looking for the top 8. I think that's some of the most challenging conditions that we've seen in today's competition, so the jury's just pausing. But the light is now yellow, so the next athlete is making their way onto the bar now. From Kazakhstan, this is Artyom Meshkov. Kazakhstan also has a little bit of ground to make up. There you can see to beat 95 meters. That is going to be hard to beat. Let's see what he can do. Oh, so yep, he low angle with his upper body and trying to really carry the speed over the knoll, but that is going to be far from enough for Team Kazakhstan. We're of course very happy to have them here in this competition. Great to see the depth of the team from Kazakhstan, but that's not going to be enough to give them a second jump today. All right, back to the top now. We have our next challenger from Finland, Tuomas Kinnunen. Good looking jump, carrying the speed, but also missing his tips a little bit. 85 meters, and on this hill, it's really, really tricky. Once you get down to those low speeds, there's hardly any room for error, and getting down to 90 meters can be very challenging. We'll see a lot of jumps around 85. There, that was an 84-meter effort, but that will secure Finland the qualifying jump, so that means Finland is guaranteed a spot in the second round. Good job, Finland. Japan, 7 points back, looking for another team to make an error to get that chance in the next round. Next challenger is already on the bar. This is the Norwegian team. Checking out that wind graphic, it looks like there's some tailwind. They can be held onto the bar as long up to 60 seconds, so you can see that little timer going. The athletes do have visibility of that, but they're keeping their eyes trained on their coach's hand. The coach tells them when to go. course, the coach waiting for the green light. And there it is. All right, and here he comes. Next athlete, Fabian Osvald from Norway. And that was an all right effort. I think that the Norwegians were really looking for a huge jump there. You can see in the body language, very disappointed, but 80.5 meters. And you know what? It'll at least give Norway another chance in the second round, and that is important right now for them. I think maybe at the beginning of the day they were looking for a chance to compete for the podium, but right now they are sitting in first place. Fabian Osvald from Norway. But the crowd, I hope, is going wild because this is the next athlete, local hero, just from right up the road. Tate France from Lake Placid, New York, from the NICEF Ski Club. Spent a lot of time training in Norway and has had an absolute breakthrough season this year on the World Cup. Here he comes, Tate France. And that's a great looking jump for Tate. He's not letting anything left on the hill today. I know he was disappointed. He came so close to that victory yesterday. 92.5 meters for Tate. But look at how stylish in the air. No movement at all. And coming down into that great telemark, Tate has really stepped up this year and is leading the team here on the Junior World Championships. And great effort for them. 48.6 points ahead of second place Norway at the moment. Switzerland, here they come. This is Yuri Caselli. Switzerland also trying to look for that podium spot. Yuri with a great jump. And you can see the frustration. I think he's just a little bit bumming about the landing. 93 meters, so definitely not a problem with the distance. This is the athlete I was saying before, a little reminiscent of Gregor Deschwanden. Ooh, but Switzerland into second place, so 19.9 points back from the U.S. So the United States showing that they are a strong four-man team. And here we go with Slovenia. Žiga Jansar. Žiga so patient and huge jump. That was so solid. Slovenia really needs, they are missing the depth right now, but a beautiful jump for Žiga, 97 meters. And look at how calm he is here. He's just flying, puts in that telemark, flies it right to the bottom, makes it look easy. Wow, what a jump from Žiga Jansar. Puts Slovenia into the lead, 13 points ahead of the United States. Finland, currently the last team qualified. Japan looking for the cue. Next up, Kaspar Tomasiak from Poland. Another good-looking effort over that K-point. That'll be good for Poland. But that's definitely nothing close to that 97-meter jump we just saw from Slovenia. 90.5 meters for Poland. Yeah, they had a little bit of an advantage in the first round, in the first three groups over Slovenia, and that was a very solid jump. And there you see it. Poland into second place, 5.8 points back from Slovenia. Two teams left to go. Next up, from Germany, Robin Kloos. Powerful takeoff German signature, but not cracking that 90 meters. Ooh, and that opens the door for the rest of the competitors. Germany sitting in third after the third group, but dropping down the standings into fourth place. 2.5 points back from third place USA and 15.5 points back from the lead. But for all of the fans here with us tonight, they know this name. This was the Junior World Champion 2 years in a row now. He is definitely looking to build his medal collection. Here he comes. This is Stefan Ambacher from Austria. A lot of height. Ooh, but you know that Žiga Jansar really pulled out an incredible 97-meter jump. That was 92, so also similar to the distance we saw from Tape France. So I don't know what Giga changed between yesterday and today, but it made a huge difference. 92 meters for Stefan Embacher, waiting for the scores to come in, and Austria into the lead. So the standings after the first round, remember, top 8 teams advancing. Here we go. Austria, Slovenia, Poland, United States. And not that far back from the podium, if I might say so myself. But unfortunately, Japan, Czechia, Kazakhstan, they are out for now, so they will have another chance to compete in the mixed team event. But this is an exciting competition, that's for sure. Austria, Slovenia, Poland right now. 1, 2, 3. Now we'll probably have about a 20-minute break. I'm waiting on the exact start time of the next round, but I'll let you know as soon as possible. For all of you joining us from Europe, thank you for staying up late. It will definitely be worth it. I can't say who's going to walk away with the victory today, but it's going to be exciting. USA sitting in 4th place. I know I'm the unbiased commentator over here, but excited to see that. Germany a little further back than expected, and Switzerland still has potential to move up. Norway sitting in 7th and Finland in 8th. So Finland sitting in the lucky position where there's nowhere to move but up. For everyone else, they're going to be trying to hold on to that lead with everything they've got. Final round start time, 6:08 local time. Slightly past midnight for those of you in Europe. And like I said, stick around. It's going to be worth it. So 18 minutes from now, I'll see you back here. Looking forward to joining me in Lake Placid, New York on the normal hill. This is the men's team event. And yeah, see you back here in a little bit.
Sports fans, so just to let you know as you're out there, the current time of the stadium is 5:52. Our estimated start time is 6:08 p.m., so that's 15 minutes from now. Once again, 15 minutes, so you've got plenty of time to get inside, freshen up, grab a hot beverage or a nice little snack or something cold to drink to keep you going. And we'll see you back here in 15 minutes for the second final round of men's team jumping action. Stay tuned. Well, it seems like Austria's got up, and you can't let them get away with this big lead that they have over the remaining teams, but it's very tight in the middle. Any of the teams in second, third, fourth, fifth, get it down to sixth place, have a good chance for a podium up here. The United States is sitting in fourth place, right in the middle of it all. Think of it, just a little bit ahead of Germany and right behind Poland. So we're looking up the ranking for Poland and Slovenia. The United States seem to make a few jumps up there onto the podium. It's very possible, but it's as you say, a lot of mistakes or great performances out there that's really going to move this around. I think we'll see a lot of that in this next round of competition with good jumps and perhaps bad the order between every round of coming. Yeah, Planica Slovenia hosted this event last year. The surprises that I can see just looking at the list here. Slovenia moving up. They won on the podium there last year in Planica. Germany notably absent at this point with dropped, I think, fifth position. Still strong teams from Switzerland. Boy, you're Kessler has great kept them jumping up. Keep the team in the hunt. But Slovenia, their last year with a not too separately with a 97-meter ride. You can see what a difference that would make them up to second place. But like you say, second through fifth, still anybody's game. Definitely open if we're going to get one of those coming team medals. Yeah, after a slow start, Slovenia really moved up with Eni Kaletic and Žiga Jančar. And they really had some trial jumps that really good ones that moved them back up into the hunt ahead of this group of challenges with the podium. Poland, very put out there with all their jumpers. Very, consistent would be the word. So, that is one of the stories of the team event. It's just no mistakes. Everybody go out there and do their job. Yeah, we like to think this team event really shows the depth of junior development in these nations. Austria, of course, is a perennial contender, always a threat. Slovenia with a big junior program. And what I think is cool to see, right, is they put a lot of resources in the USA already, put a lot of resources into club development. Programs that get to the something great, second facilities in Steamboat Springs, Smart City, up in Alaska, of course, here in the east in Lake Placid, Salisbury, Connecticut. A lot of these feeder programs, Chicago, you can't forget the Northeast SEMA, really contributing to a deep field, and that's what we're seeing here.
All right, sports fans, this is your friendly reminder. We are about 2 minutes out from the start of the final round of competition. We are in Lake Placid, New York, USA for the Junior World Ski Championships. This is the men's team event on the Hillsize 100. The second round of competition, we will see the top 8 teams from the first round competing for that Junior World Championship podium. In the lead after round 1, we have Team Austria, followed by Slovenia, Poland, United States, Germany, Switzerland, Norway, and Finland. Austria currently sitting with a commanding 27.1 point lead in first place. Poland 32.9 points back in third, and the United States minus 40.1 points, so I would say the door is still open. Germany 42.6 points back, and Switzerland 60 points back. Again, you're going to see 4 athletes per nation with 8 nations. So a lot can happen in that, and I think it's the same aim. We want to see jumps around that 90-meter mark. Anything above that is great and will definitely help the team out. But it's when you have a bit of a slip up, anything close to that 80, 85, it opens the door for the other teams. Taking a look at the starting order, there you can see, friendly reminder, we are still working our way through the standings. This is based on the original start order. So you're seeing last year's podium from the Junior World Championships, Austria, Germany, Poland. And then as we move into that final group, the 4th group, we'll see reverse order, and then it'll be very clear as to what's going on. But for now, we are about 1 minute from the start, and I'm very excited for all of those joining from Europe. Thank you for staying up late. We appreciate it. We're glad to have you with us here in Lake Placid, New York. This is the FIS Nordic Junior World Championships men's normal hill team event, second round. We'll see our final 4 jumpers and then get ready to go quite soon. It's been a tough day for the competitors, a lot of wind. The hill crew has been doing their best to keep everything under control, and it seems that now as the sun has set, conditions have really improved a lot. We had a very fair first round, and excited to see what the athletes are going to show us in this second round. Fans are trickling back out. Lake Placid had a special 2-for-1 Valentine's Day deal going on, so hopefully we have some young couples here out in the crowd getting into ski jumping. We're always excited for new sports fans. And here we go. We're ready to kick it off, starting from gate number 17, so 1 up for these athletes from the first round. Here we go. This is Emeli Kortila from Finland. And a fantastic start for him. 85 meters in the first round, and that was a huge improvement. 92.5 meters. Wow, what a way to end the day for Emeli. That was a great jump for him. And he'll be happy to walk through that exit gate and take the top spot for now. Next up from Norway, Mats Strandbraten. He's hoping to have a great jump. Norway sitting a little bit further back than we expected, but let's see what he can show us. Little hesitant, but making his way down the hill, and that was also an improvement for Mats. Great to see these athletes stepping up in their second round. 85 meters for Mats, and Norway into second. Getting some great visuals from the hill. Conditions are absolutely perfect. You can see a little light snow out there on the landing. Looks great. Minus 0.6 points for wind compensation, so conditions are fair and we are ready. Now this is the team that has surprised us all in that first round. They are definitely in the hunt. Jason Colby coming back from an injury earlier this season and coming back stronger than ever here in Lake Placid at the Junior World Championships. Here comes Team USA's Jason Colby. Jason with a lot of confidence and a lot of height, soaring down, and you can tell from that reaction he is pleased with that 95-meter jump. Oh, all in a day's work for Jason. And Jason kicking us off in the first group. So his coach probably put him there a little bit strategically, maybe a little extra speed. But actually in the first round, Group 1 had the same speed as Group 4, so it didn't really work out like that. But anyway, Team USA into first for now. Up next, Switzerland. They were in 6th place after the first round, and here they come. This is Felix Truns from Switzerland. Felix with great direction, but not getting down to that 95 meters. But look at the reaction. He's so relieved. 2 great jumps for him. 93 meters. He was 91.5 in the first round. Good looking style marks. And Switzerland sliding behind Team USA, 30.7 points back from the lead. Now for Switzerland, I'm sure at this point, there's a little bit of pressure relief right now. They're just out here trying to do their best, not trying to hang on to a podium like some of the teams at the top right now. Now, Slovenia was a surprise in that first round. We saw an incredible jump from Group 4. Slovenia in second after the first round, 27.1 points back from the lead. So Slovenia, they are one of the teams that is trying to hang on to that podium. Last year on home soil, they were not on the podium in Planica. It was Austria, Germany, Poland. So they are definitely looking for a medal. All right, here comes Urban Simnic from Slovenia. Powerful on the takeoff. You saw that ski flex. And right over that 90 meters, so I think that's a pretty solid jump for him. 89 in the first round, 91.5. Good looking marks from the judges. Maybe was a little late on the timing, but really confident in the air. Very solid telemark. The level that these athletes are jumping at right now is very high. These might be juniors, but they are showing us some great performances. Slovenia into the lead, 7.6 points ahead of the US. Next up, from Poland, Klemens Joniak. Good direction and a great looking jump. Still not touching that 95 meters we saw from the US team. 92.5, so 1 meter improvement for Clemens from his first round jump. But very stylish, very clean, solid in the air, and the judges liked that. Check out those scores, 18s from the judges. They'll be pleased with that. Poland currently in third after the first round, so they are trying to hang on to that podium as well, but they are into second place right now. Slovenia still in the lead. Next challenger from Germany, Max Unglaube. He has to be 102 meters for the lead, so he's just trying to get down into that 90-meter zone, and that's what he did. So that's a solid jump. Obviously not enough for the lead, but for Team Germany, giving the fans a wave. Happy that they're out here tonight. Let's see how that works for them. Germany was sitting just behind the US after the first round. Scores are coming in. Let's see. Germany into fourth. So current top three, Slovenia, Poland, United States, and Germany in fourth. Now moving on to our leaders after the first round. So this is the team to beat. Look at that to beat distance, 78 meters. So you can tell that they have a huge advantage. But a great looking jump, close to that 90 meters. And remember from the first round, Simon really had a huge effort. 95 in the first round. That was a bit shorter, 88.5 meters. And you know that although Austria had a 27.1 point lead ahead of Slovenia after the first round, I think this is opening the door. Of course they have, you know, the medalists from the individual competition on their team, but will it be enough to hold on to the lead with 3 jumpers left in the 3 groups? That was the conclusion of group number 1. Let's see if we get these scores up on the screen for you guys at home. Current standings: Austria, Slovenia, Poland, United States, Germany, Switzerland, Finland, Norway. So as you look at the points, I would advise looking at places 2 to 4. Look at how close that is. Austria still with a commanding lead, but when we're talking about anything within 5 points, that's where you're going to see a lot of movement. So right now I could not say who's going to be on the podium at the end of this competition, but it is going to be a challenge. So top 3 for now: Austria, Slovenia, Poland. Big change from last year. Second place, the silver medalist from last year's team event. Germany right now in 5th place. And just to remind you all of the format, we are moving into group 2 of 4. So we'll see 1 athlete from each of the 8 countries qualified for the second round in group 2. Now, looking back on the first round, we saw the jury decide to go up 1 gate between the first and the second group. Let's see what they do now. Oh, and the information is coming through gate 17 to 19. So 2 gates up. So this could be exciting. We saw long jump in the first round, 95 meters. But now we have 2 more gates of speed. And I'm hoping to see something far with some, obviously the telemarks are super important these days. The new judging system. Like I said, long jump in the first round from Steamboat Springs' own Jason Colby from the Team USA. But let's not get ahead of ourselves now. We are at gate 19. We are ready to start group number 2. Kicking it off, Thomas Mais. Good looking jump for Finland over that K point and a beautiful telemark landing. Like I said, Finland had nowhere to go but up. They were sitting in 8th place, so happy to have qualified. But a jump like that is just so good for the confidence. Thomas is going to be very pleased with that 94.5 meter jump. What a way to end the night here in Lake Placid for Finland. So, Finland into the lead. Next up, next contender from Norway, Alvin Lay. Here he comes. Very aggressive. Woo! And that was right on the line. You could see so direct with the angle that he chose. Just hoping his skis were going to come with him, but it worked out. It paid off. 7.5 meter improvement from the first round. 90.5 meters. Norway was in 7th after the first round, so they're also looking for just having fun out here, trying to show their best in front of their fans, family. There's a lot of Norwegian fans who made the trip, and it's great to see them representing here. But without further ado, next athlete, here he comes. This is Team USA's Henry Lohr. Henry knows this hill well, flying, and that wasn't Henry's best jump. You could see he's leaving the door open, matching the distance from the first round, 88.5. Team USA still in the lead, but if they wanted to fight for that podium, I was banking on Henry to have a bit better jump than that, but we can't complain. 88.5 meters, current lead, Team USA. Next challengers at the top, Team Switzerland. Here comes Marius Sieber. Good looking jump for Marius, but also coming down a little bit short of that 90 meters, 85.5. But looking at the first round, that was a big improvement for him as well. So for these athletes, that's really important. It's great to end on a high note, and that's what he did there. Switzerland into 2nd place. Team USA still in the lead. All right, Slovenia, this is definitely a team to watch. They're currently sitting in 2nd place. They did not get any medals yesterday, and I know that as a ski jumping nation, they are looking for a great performance today. Here he comes. This is Nick Bergans-Marians. Good looking jump, flying down the hill, somewhere between that 90, 95 meters, 94 meters, and taking a look at his first round, 79.5. So that's where you can tell he absolutely delivered on that one. That is a look of relief, and Slovenia clearly going into the lead now, 22.3 points ahead of Team USA. Now that was a great jump for Nick. And sometimes it takes just being able to see your teammates between rounds, have a word with your coach, decide that, you know, you're going to leave it all out there and do your best. And that's exactly what he did. Poland, 94.5 meters to take the lead. Let's see what he can do. This is Szymon Briski. All right, getting close to that 90 meters, so that wasn't enough for the lead. But that'll be good for Poland. Remember, Poland is sitting in 3rd, so they are one of the teams trying to hold on to that medal. But Slovenia doing their very best to make sure that they stay on the podium as well. Poland into 2nd place, 14.2 points back from the lead. Team Germany sitting down in 5th place right now, looking to climb the rankings. Alex Reiter. Alex carrying the speed and a beautiful jump. It wasn't over 100 meters, but look at that reaction. 97, and he is very happy with that. Like I said after Henry's jump, you know, the door is definitely open. You have we're only in the second group now, so there are 3 more jumps. Some countries have 3 athletes left, and it's jumps like that we just saw from Alex Reiter that really put the team back into contention. Germany into third. Now, one team that's definitely not feeling too threatened right now, this is the Austrian team. Final jumper of Group 2. Sitting on the bar now, looking at the top right of your screen to be 81.5. So Austria, a huge lead going into this jump. Waiting for the conditions. He has up to 60 seconds that he can spend on the bar right now. So just watching those numbers tick up. Once we get to 60, he'll have to get off the bar. All right. There it is. The light is going to turn red, as you can see. Lucas Hagen from Austria getting off the bar. What they're doing now is they're just trying to wait for the wind conditions to calm down a little bit. It's really important to have a fair competition. They're at gate number 19 right now. Lucas Hagen probably very confident, whereas some of the teams were having those discussions what they need to improve. I think the Austrians just needed to repeat what they did in the first round to hang on to that lead. But let's see how he mastered that little break. Here comes the next athlete from Austria. Final jumper in Group 2, Lucas Hagen. Lucas with some height, building, but not getting down close to that 90 meters. Now let's take a look at the wind compensation, because we know that they held him on the bar for a reason. Looking at that, so you got plus 6.6 points. So that means there's a little bit of tailwind out there. 87.5 meter jump. I'm going to wait for the points to come in on your end. Let's see what this looks like. There you see it. Austria into first place, 206.1 points for Hagen. But guys, it's anybody's game now. Slovenia having those massive jumps that we saw, only 7 points back in second place. Poland, 21.2 points back in third. So right now what we're looking at is a race for that bronze medal. I think Slovenia, they have 2 athletes left. I think that they could definitely go into contention with Austria, but remember, Austria still has the junior world champion on their side. It's going to be a thrilling final end of this competition. We have 2 groups left, so 2 jumps per nation, 8 nations left. We're going to see another trial jumper and then move into this Group 3. Still retaining the same bib order that we saw from the beginning of the competition. It's not until that final group that we're going to be jumping in reverse order. So don't worry about that yet. Starting us off, here we go. Team Finland, Eli Karanen on the hill. Good jump for Eli. That was an improvement for him for sure. 78.5 in the first round, and that was an 81 meter effort. Now, just so that you guys all know, we are still at gate 17, gate 19. So 17 Group 1, Group 2 19, Group 3 also 19. So there's a little bit of tailwind, but I think this little extra speed will be good, and we'll definitely be able to see some far jumps in this round as well. Next athlete, representing Norway, Odd Harald Svensson-Fjeld. Probably the longest name out here. Let's see what he can show us. Great looking jump, and he loves the extra speed. He had an 87 meter ride in the first jump, and that was 88.5 meters. Norway right behind Finland. Good looking telemark, you can see, rewarded by the judges. 17s for style. And there you see Norway. It says third for now, but Austria still to come. All right, this is a defining moment. Here comes Team USA's Bryce Clock. Bryce, very aggressive angle and a good jump. He seems disappointed, but remember, Bryce had a very good first jump as well, but he bobbled a little bit on the landing and lost some critical points on that. So here we can see solid jump, 87.5 meters, and Team USA into the lead for now. But remember, we're not jumping in reverse order, so just having the lead might not be enough for the US team right now. But let's see, we're about halfway through this third group. Next challenger from Switzerland. Switzerland in sixth after the first round. Here comes Noah Studer. Ooh, Noah flying a little behind. I mean, sometimes it's tough. You can see right now that was an 83-meter jump for Noah. Probably working on gaining some experience here, but look at that second half. His ski's really, really high, catching a lot of wind, but unfortunately on this hill you need to keep the speed in order to fly well in the second half. Switzerland into second place right now, ahead of Finland and Norway. But here we go. This is the big contenders currently sitting in second place. Here we go. This is Slovenia's Ene Faletic. Good looking jump for him. Ooh. But not into the 90 zone. So he was 92 in the first round, which was very important. But now only 86.5. And I say only because Slovenia really wants a podium. So that might be opening the door again for some movement there. They were sitting in second. But let's see. Slovenia into first place for right now. And 22.6 points ahead of the United States. Poland currently sitting in third place, also trying to hang on to that podium. Here comes Vitor Szostak. Good looking jump for him. Right around that 90 meters, 89.5 in the first round. Slightly shorter, 87.5. So it's going to be tight between Slovenia and Poland. Remember, Slovenia was ahead of Poland in the second group, so here we're in the third group. Poland into second place. 9.3 backs from Slovenia. At the top now, two groups remaining. Germany and Austria. First to come, Team Germany. Germany scrambling, trying to get all the way up in the rankings, trying to get onto the podium. Let's see what he can do. This is Jan Kuhlmann. Ooh, and he has the height. Great jump for Jan. That is very important. He was feeling the pressure for sure. And I don't know if it's those flags that the athletes can see flying at the bottom of the hill. 92.5 meters for Jan. But will it be enough to bump Slovenia out of the top spot? And it's not. Germany into second. 2.5 points back from Slovenia. 2.5 points is nothing. Remember, this is Group 3. We have one more athlete to go. One more athlete in this group. Here comes Nicolas Hummel. Austria absolutely running away with it right now. Great jump for him. 92.5 in the first round. That was an improvement. Just taking time to, say hi to the fans at home. His teammates are very proud of that effort. 94.5 meters. And Austria into the lead, still in the top spot. These are the ones to beat. So that is the conclusion of Group 3. That means every country has one athlete, well, every country in the top 8 has one athlete left at the top. So now when you look at the point spread right now, that's a lot to make up for one athlete. Remember, when we had the 20 points with 4 athletes to go, that's manageable. But with one athlete, that's a lot. So I think it's going to be a battle for the podium for that second and third place. Poland is going to be doing their best. USA might be a little bit out, but Slovenia and Germany, it's going to be a fight. And remember, their final Slovenian jumper had a great first round jump, and let's see if he can deliver again in the second round. So we'll see a 4 jumper, and then our final 8 athletes for this team normal hill Junior World Championship competition. And now you can see some names, put some names to the athletes. This is your final group. And like I said, now is the time where we're jumping in reverse order. So Austria, the leading team, will be the final one to come. So we're going to know exactly what it takes to take the lead. Tate France from the US starting 4th. US was definitely in contention after the first round, but slipped back a little bit. But in the end, we really can't complain. These guys are putting on an amazing show for us today. And only a few minutes remaining until we know who the champions are. Looking up the hill, we see an athlete on the bar, but I believe this is still a trial jumper, so don't get too excited. They're just testing out the hill, making sure conditions are good. We will be coming from gate 17, so that is matching the first group's speed. So we saw 17, 19, 19, 17, but remember, we are seeing our strongest athletes from some of the top nations in this group, so that's to be expected. 4 jumper just clearing the track right now. And then we'll be starting off with Norway, currently in 8th place after the first round. So we saw some movement there. Finland scooching up. Switzerland still in 6th. US moving down 1 place. 2 places. 1 place. There, you might be seeing another trial jumper. I think they're just making sure that they get some wind readings, see how everything is, because really at this level, and after spending all this time at the hill today, I think the patience will definitely pay off. There you can see at the bottom of the hill now the Austrian team currently sitting in the top spot. They seem to be pretty relaxed. I think they know they've done their job well, so they'll just be waiting to see what their teammates can deliver. On your screen now, start gate number 17. And we are into the final group. 8 athletes remain at the top. First to come on the hill now, this is Fabian Oswald. And a much better ride for Fabian. Look at that relief. That's what he wanted. He's having a huge smile on his face. Big improvement from that first round. And 86 meters for Fabian Oswald. Norway will be very pleased with that. Remember, they were sitting in 8th place, so they were trying to just move up the standings as much as they can. Great to see that kind of reaction. Next up, from Finland, 7th place after the first round. This is going to be critical. 89 meters to take the lead. Tuomas Kiinonen. Good flyer. but not a lot of height, so he's a very small athlete. You can tell he uses aerodynamics to his advantage. 88-meter ride there. And Finland keeping the lead ahead of Norway. So looking at the standings now, we have a little bit of a gap between Finland and Norway. You can see it says second place on your screen now because Austria just really has so many points. They are flying away with it, but they are still to come. All right, next up, Switzerland. Switzerland, we don't know what to expect. Here we come, Yuri Caselli. And a solid jump for Yuri. He had a 93-meter jump in the first round. He's definitely the strongest athlete on the Swiss team. They were hoping to see, I don't know, something magical from him, and that was a very good jump, but it wasn't. I don't think that would be enough to move them up the standings. Switzerland into the lead for now. But here we come. This is our final U.S. jumper for the men's team event. This is hometown hero Tate France, yesterday's silver medalist, and from Lake Placid. He has his family down in the crowd. He is jumping for his country. Here comes Tate. Very patient, building, and a fantastic ride for Tate. That was a beautiful jump close to that hillside, but he made it look absolutely effortless. 98 meters, and Tate just really solid. Definitely going to be rewarded from the judges with style. Look at those 18.5s, bringing 18.5s into the final results. Team USA into the lead for now, but the next challenger is up at the top now. You can see to beat 93. So that's not going to be too easy. Next up, Kasper Tomasiak from Poland. Kasper, ooh, not quite to that red line. Remember, we just saw to beat 93 meters. We asked to still wait for the wind compensation to come in, but to me, I think that that puts USA still at the top of the board. Scores are coming in. His team is out in the crowd, and second place for Poland. So USA up 1. Great jumping for these athletes. USA with an 8.3 point lead ahead of Poland, currently in second place. 3 teams remain. So this is going to be intense. We are seconds away from knowing who's going to be guaranteed a spot on the podium. We have Germany, Slovenia, Austria to come. USA sitting in first. Feels like they're building the suspense over there. You can see the standing points at the top of your screen now. But what's it gonna be? 3 athletes remain. Robin Kloss from Germany, Žiga Jansar from Slovenia, and Stefan Embacher from Austria. Slovenian Žiga Jansar had a huge jump in the first round. And there you can see on your screen now. Top 3 in reverse order. Austria leading after the first round. They will be the last to jump. And here we go. Ready to be fighting for the podium. If he takes the lead, Germany guaranteed a medal. This is a big moment for Robin. He's on the bar. He's ready to go. And here he comes, Germany's Robin Kloss. Solid jump. Ooh, but not a lot of distance. To beat was about 86 meters and 85.5. Holy cow. Holy cow. It's going to come down to style. I think we're in a different position than we thought we would be in. The Germans are just... Oh, and into second place. Germany into second. And you know what that means? USA into first place with 2 athletes at the top. I don't think anybody expected this day. Holy moly. 2 athletes remaining. Žiga Jansar, Stefan Embacher. So Germany currently out of the medal standings. But Giga Jansar has a lot to do here. 83.5 to win, or to take the lead. Giga Jansar, great looking jump. Very solid, close to that 95 meters. 97 in the first round, and he knows he's done it. Two of his very best jumps, and today in the team competition, look at that reaction. Like I said, Slovenia needed a podium. Oh my gosh, you don't see that every day, and that's what's so special about these team competitions. Look at those reactions. Slovenia clearly into the lead. Giga Jansar with a great flight, and Slovenia guaranteed at least a silver medal. Oh, and on the hill, here we go. Stefan Embacher from Austria. Huge jump, look at that height. And that is your junior world champion from yesterday's individual competition. And I don't think we even need to wait for the points to come in. He's already taken off his helmet. 97.5 meters for Stefan Embacher, and Austria walking away with the gold medal. But sports fans, let's take a look at that podium. Austria, Slovenia, and the United States, the underdogs, coming in with that bronze medal from today. I don't think anybody expected it. Equipment controls pending, but that was wow, what an exciting day, especially with all of the delays. And you know, something can be said for hometown advantage, I don't know, but that was really fantastic performance from all of the athletes. Austria first place, Slovenia second, USA with the bronze medal, and this means more than you know for this nation in ski jumping. Look at that, up 2 spots and a 4-point lead over fourth place. Germany unfortunately off the podium. Poland also down off the podium into 5th place. So the only country that remains from last year's podium is Austria in the first position. But what an exciting event. And yeah, nothing to say about that. Wow, that was incredible. Now between rounds, I know that there was probably a lot going through the minds of these athletes. For the U.S. team, they knew they were in contention, but I don't know that anybody was gambling with a podium for them today. Austria, of course, always so strong, but sometimes coming in as the reigning champions can be challenging. Stefan Embacher, 2 for 2. I mean, he won last year's Junior World Championship individual, also the team event, and again yesterday he took the individual gold, and again today in the team. So a great performance from the Austrian team especially. But the Slovenians, it was also an incredible jumping, especially from that Giga Jansar. He showed his very best today, and I think that's what really pulled Slovenia up into that silver medal position. So great jumping today, and let's not forget Team USA with a huge 3rd place in the team event. Coming back from the World Cup last weekend here in Lake Placid, we had the best finish, tying the best finish ever in history, or in the most recent history, in 5th place. So here to be on the podium at the junior level with some wild cards, to be honest. Of course, Tate France, Jason Colby, experienced athletes on the World Cup, but that was absolutely, that was just a great show. So we're waiting for equipment control. Thank you all for sticking with us tonight. I'm glad you stayed up late and watched this competition from Lake Placid, New York. And if you're just absolutely jazzed, hyped on ski jumping right now, stick around. We have the women's normal hill team competition coming right up, and I'm sure it's going to be just as exciting as this men's team was. hill crew's out there. I think they're getting the podium ceremony set up. You can see people gathering down in the finish area now. But there's definitely not going to be a break from the action. Coming up at 7 p.m. local time, the women are going to roll right into the team competition. So that's about 11 minutes away. They're taking a look down into the stands, hoping to get some interviews from the athletes. This was just such an incredible day.
Junior World Championships Team Jump Men.
You can see in the bottom left, Coach Anders Johnson. He's been through the ringer. Emotions have been running high, but he is so proud of his team, and it's been really, really incredible to watch this partnership with the Norwegians really paying off in such a big way.
Medalist Alpine ski racer. Gifts will be presented by Tate Wardlaw, Olympic Regional.
Now athletes are getting ready for the podium,
and marketing.
making their way out there.
Third place and bronze medalist, United States of America.
So there we go, in third place, team competition, normal hill, Team USA, made up of Jason Colby, Henry Lohr, Bryce Klock, and Tate France. Huge congratulations to them for this very historic victory here on home soil in Lake Placid, New York. Not victory, third place, but still victory in our books.
Second place and silver medalist, Slovenia.
And in second place, Slovenia. Slovenian team made up of Urban Simnic, Nick Bergant, Ine Faletic, and Žiga Jansar. Receiving their awards. Down on the bottom of the Olympic Hill, this jump built for the 1980 Olympics and now remodeled and designed to host the very best in the world, up to date. And so proud to have not only the World Cup but also the Junior World Championships here in the United States of America, here in Lake Placid, New York.
First place, gold medalist.
And in first place, the gold medalists on the normal hill team event, Junior World Champions, Team Austria, Simon Steinberger, Lukas Hagen, Niklas Hummel, and Stefan Embacher, defending their Junior World Championship team title from last year. The Austrians are incredibly proud of that gold. Now we'll take a moment to listen to that Austrian national anthem. Hopefully we can get that played through for you today. But for all of those tuning in from around the world, thank you so much for joining me. It's been Nina Lucy here with you today. And like I said, stick around for some more jumping action. The women's team is scheduled to take place starting very shortly. Thanks for joining me today, and see you back here soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Austria. Lake Placid 2025 FIS Nordic Junior Worlds winners. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes the medal ceremony for the men's normal hill team competition. What an evening it's been so far. An incredible night under the lights here at McKenzie Intervale Ski Jumping Complex. And remember, lots of excitement still to come. We've got our women's team event coming up shortly. That's going to be starting in just about 5 minutes' time. But we've witnessed history. The United States taking its first ever team medal at the Junior World Ski Jumping Championships there. So terrific. Redemption for Slovenia. Shut off the podium last year at their home World Junior Championship, moving into silver medal place there, which was wonderful. And hats off to Austria, repeating their title from last year of Junior World Champions in the team event. We saw lots of outstanding jumps out there.
Right, sports fans, welcome back. We are on the normal hill for the Junior World Ski Championships. This is the women's team event, and we are moments away from the start of this exciting competition here in Lake Placid, New York. We just finished off the men's event, and that was absolutely thrilling, but great for the winter sports fans. Temperatures cooling down a little bit, minus 9.1 degrees Celsius. So perfect conditions for some ski jumping. FIS coordinator Renata, technical delegate Andreas Bauer. And we're excited to see the women competing tonight. You can see judges up on your screen now. And just to remind everybody about the format of the team event. So this is, every country has 4 athletes. We have, so 4 athletes per country jumping in different groups. And the top 8 countries after the first round will advance into the finals. So Looking at the order now, we can see this is based on the results from last year's Junior World Championships. The Slovenians coming away with the lead there. Slovenia, Japan, Germany. But it'll be interesting to see what happens today out on the hill in Lake Placid. Again, we just finished up the men's competition, and it goes to show anything can happen. You need to stay in it until the very end, and that was just so exciting. But here we are, ready for the women's, enjoying this aerial view taken earlier today. This is the Olympic ski jumping complex here in beautiful Lake Placid, New York. As I'm sure the dedicated fans among you know, we tried to do this competition earlier today. Unfortunately, it was very windy conditions, so they made the decision to push it to the evening. So it's 7 p.m. local time. Sun has set, and we are ready to spend Valentine's Day together at the ski jumps. K90 hill size 100. Hoping to see some jumps down around that hill size. Now the crew had to do a very quick turnover from the end of the men's competition. They were just down in the landing area a few minutes ago for the prize giving ceremony, but here we are, ready to get this competition underway. They are skipping the trial round, so no test jumps for these athletes today, just right into competition. We saw the women's individual competition yesterday. That was thrilling. We saw Ingvild Synnøve Midtskogen from Norway ahead of Ingrid Lotte from Norway, ahead of Taja Bodlai from Slovenia. So Norway, Slovenia, Germany, Japan, and then another Norwegian. Unfortunately for us here, 7th place, Kjersti Grisley, unfortunately had a problem on the landing and resulting in a knee injury sustained here on the hill in Lake Placid. Good news for us, she's in great spirits. She had an MRI taken, so she has her prognosis, but she's still at the hill here with the athletes, cheering them on today. Her sister is on the Norwegian team, so it's definitely a family, and I know she'll be cheering loud. Rumor has it she's going to be joining the team in the booth today, so for all of the lucky fans down in the stadium, they will hear some inside knowledge from Kjersti, so that's definitely a treat, and great to see her positive attitude coming into this competition. I know that she's probably devastated right now, but she's really making the most of it, and great sportsmanship. I'm very, very proud to have that kind of person and that kind of spirit here in the sport. So we're getting ready to go now. We'll be starting. We're actually getting started right now. This is bib number 1, Maria Kudakova from Kazakhstan. They are coming out of gate 24, so a little bit more speed than we saw on the men's side. And Maria showing us a 59-meter opening jump. That will, of course, take the lead for now. And we're very pleased to see 4 women here from Kazakhstan competing in the team event. Some of the smaller nations is a real struggle to find 4 athletes really competing at this high level. So here we go. On the hill now, this is Usa Ture from Finland. Usa making her way much further down the hill. That will definitely take the lead for now. Let's see how long she can hold on. And remember, it's going to be important to stay within the top 8 teams to get that second round. Look at this replay. Beautiful jump. Conditions look absolutely perfect. It just goes to show that weight was definitely worth it. Great decisions made by the crew in charge of the hill. But here we go. We are ready for Team USA, kicking it off now and on the hill. Let's go. Missing a little bit of distance on that. This is Kaya Copenhaver from the U.S. Distance 45 meters. But again, what a special experience to be here in Lake Placid, here jumping with her teammates selected for this team. Doing her best to get the telemark in. And that moves the United States into 3rd place for the time being. Finland remains in the lead, 91.2 points. Next challenger, Nora Helena Evans from Norway. Nora, that standard huge V from the Norwegian team. She's very, very pleased to be jumping today. Of course, the circumstances are very heartbreaking, but great to see Nora getting her chance to perform here in Lake Placid. Nora Helena Evans coming down at 71.5 meters. Next athlete, this is a name we know from the World Cup. Very strong contender from Switzerland, Sina Arnett. Good looking jump for Sina, but really she isn't finding her way on this hill. She's very strong. She's had some great performances. She's from Engelberg in Switzerland. But like I said, it's great to see some of these smaller nations, Kazakhstan and Switzerland, fielding a full team, and Switzerland into second place, 3.5 points back from Finland. Next up from Austria, here comes Sarah Pokorny. Sarah trying to find her way, trying to get that rotation. Missed the takeoff a little bit, so trying to make it happen in the air. See, came up a little bit vertical in there, trying to push it over, moving her arms a little bit. See how that works out for her. 72 meters for the Austrian, and into third position. Finland still in the lead. Next challenger from Germany, Leah Böhme. Germans definitely looking for a podium today. Leah very smooth, keeping the speed, and look at how well she carried that down the hill. Didn't look like the most powerful in the takeoff, but so dynamic. Very wide ski position, but keeping her skis very flat. So that's definitely the longest jump we've seen, 84.5 meters from Leah, and puts Germany into first place, 10.2 points ahead of Finland. Now we're into our final two of the first group. This is Japan's Kika Sakamoto. Kika, very good-looking jump, but just not enough power on the takeoff, a little late. You can see they're pushing into the open air. That makes it hard to get the rotation from the takeoff movement, but they're trying to get in the telemark and maximizing the distance. Japan coming from that silver medal last year. I'm not sure whether they're up for it this year. Some of their strongest athletes aged out, but Japan into fourth place. At the top now, these are your defending champions, the Slovenian team. Unfortunately missing out on the chance to compete on home soil in Lubno, which will also be happening this weekend. But we're happy to have them here in Lake Placid and see what they can do. This is Lucia Jurgic. Lucia, it's gonna be tough. You can see from the reaction, that wasn't really the jump she was looking for. 66.5 meters. So I would say it is still very much anybody's game. Germany in the lead after the first group, ahead of Finland, Switzerland, Japan, Austria, Norway. Slovenia in 7th, Kazakhstan 8th, and the United States in 9th. So like I said, top 8 teams are advancing into the second round. The US will be trying to do their best to scooch ahead of Kazakhstan to make their way into the second round. But those are the standings after one of 4 groups. So we'll see 3 more groups in this first round and then cut to 8. Looking up the hill now, we're seeing a little bit of movement. Gate 24 up to gate 26. So group 2 will have a little bit more speed, and we'll see a trial jumper before we get into group 2. Now the hill crew has been out here night and day making sure the conditions are perfect for these athletes. It's definitely been a challenge, but Lake Placid really delivering a lot of volunteer hours, and especially with the World Cup last weekend, these people have been living at the hill. Couldn't do it without them and are so proud to be hosting the very best in the world here in the United States in Lake Placid, New York. Right now we're just waiting for a trial jumper ahead of Group 2. Just as a refresher, current podium after Group 1, Germany, Finland, Switzerland. Hard to say what's going on up there. I know that they have to move the bar. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky dealing with frozen conditions up there. Like I said, really shaking it up from last year's podium. Oh, there you go. That looked like Tony Benzie showing us that he's here to jump well. Clear the track. And the athletes are coming from gate number 26, so 2 gates up from Group 1. And starting us off, we'll be jumping in the same order as the first round. So that means Kazakhstan will be kicking it off. On the bar now and ready to go. Here she comes. This is Anastasia Guronova from Kazakhstan. Making it look very simple. You can see not a lot of power from the takeoff, but very smooth and really getting not a bad distance on that. 72.5 meters. Very calm in the air. And remember, for Kazakhstan and the US, they're currently fighting to remain in the top 8. So that was a good effort for Anastasia. Let's see where that'll put them. Kazakhstan, of course, into the lead. But we are ready for our next contender from Finland, Emilia Widgren. Finland with a huge first jump, and that was a great effort for Emilia. Coming from gate 26 and 81 meters. Great to see the depth in the Finnish team as well. On the World Cup, it's basically a 2-man show most of the time, so it's really important to see this next generation coming up. Sometimes it takes a little bit to wait and to see the changes become a reality. I think in the US we're seeing that a lot, but great to see the hard work coming to fruition, especially here today in Lake Placid. Next up and on the hill, Estella Hazrick. Estella had a chance to compete in the World Cup here on the large hill, and great to see her flying on the normal hill as well. 68.5 meters for Estella. She's been working hard under the tutelage of ski jumping legend Lena Yar, part of the U.S. team this year. And with that, I'm sure is coming a lot of changes to the technique, and sometimes it takes a little while for your body to catch up with it and to kind of get in tune with everything. We talked about Kjersti before. She's down in the booth today. Unfortunately, we can't hear her from here, but her sister is on the bar now from Team Norway. Need 87 meters to take the lead from Finland. And here she comes. This is Ingrid Gressley. And good to see Ingrid a little bit more cautious today than she was yesterday. She had a bit of a tumble on the hill yesterday. Tough day for the Gressley family. But 83-meter jump for Ingrid. Watching the scores come in. I don't think that'll be enough for the lead, but a solid effort for Ingrid. We're seeing some kind of reaction from her. I don't know. Not really sure what that is, but we're on to the next one. From Switzerland, Gia Bells. late on the timing and not quite getting the distance that we just saw from Finland and Norway. 65.5 meters for Julia. We'll call it Julia. Julia Bells from Switzerland, 65.5 and into third place.
So 5 of 9 teams through, and we move on to Austria. This is going to be
Right, we're quickly moving through the round. So here, next up, from Austria, Louise Tricher. Louise also looking to make her way down the hill, not quite getting the distance that she wanted. You can see from that reaction, 76.5 meters for her. Austria, of course, always looking for a medal, but that puts Austria into fourth behind Switzerland. At the top now, Anna-Fee Schaffenberg from Germany. Here she comes. Anna-Fee a little late on the timing, but not letting that hold her back. That was a great jump, and you could see quiet but confident reaction from her. 88 meters, and there we go for the crowd, for the fans. Anna-Fee delivering for Team Germany, 88 meters, and into the commanding top spot for now. Still at the top, we have Japan and Slovenia. So here she comes, next contender, Riko Iwasaki from Japan. Riko challenging for the lead, and a beautiful jump for her. You can tell she is pleased with that. 87-meter ride. Just really calm, patient, taking her time, but flying down the hill and putting that telemark in. 16s from the judges, and Japan into second place. At the top now, and on the hill, here she comes. This is Tinkara Komar from Slovenia. Tinkara has a long jump needed. Was 103 to take the lead, but Tinkara knows how to jump for her team. 90 meters. So what was important now for Slovenia was to get back into the mix. Tinkara, another ski jumping family member. Her sister Katra, very strong member of the Slovenian national team. Ski jumping on the World Cup. Great to see the generations continue to come through. Slovenia into fourth place. And that rounds off the second group of athletes. Here you can see the standings after 2 of 4 groups. US still trying to claw their way into that 8th place to make the second round. Germany, Japan, Finland are the top 3 for now, but we have 2 groups remaining for the first round. And remember, the Norwegian team, they have both of the podium members from yesterday's competition still at the top. So it's going to be exciting. Ingrid Lotte from Norway definitely has a lot to do this week. She's competing in both ski jumping and Nordic Combined, which is absolutely crazy, especially here where you're jumping at a different facility than the cross country is about 15 minutes down the road at Mount Van Hovenberg. So she's been just racing around all week and just getting as much experience as possible and just picking up medals. But we're gonna take a break and wait for the jury. They're looking up the hill. It looks like they're gonna move the start gate. I believe they're moving it down to 25. And here you can see the issues that they were having. It's a little bit cold, hard to move, but I think they got it done. And if I'm not mistaken, we'll see a 4-jumper before kicking it off with the next group. Remember, the order is not adjusted in the team comp, so we're sticking with the same order that we saw from the normal start, which was based off of last year's competition. Now these 4 jumpers have been working hard here in Lake Placid. You have to walk up the tower, so they've been getting a lot of exercise. And great to see them taking some jumps here in Lake Placid, working hard for the team. Looking up the hill, we see the next athlete moving out onto the bar. That is bib 1-3, so the first athlete in the 3rd group. Starting us off, Team Kazakhstan. Reflecting on your screen, gate 25. This is Alisa Sedova from Kazakhstan. Alyssa also not doing anything too dramatic, but excited to see her here. 67.5 meter effort. Very smooth, keeping her skis flat. And really at this point, the team, it's important to gain some experience, know what you're up against, and have some inspiration to go back home, get some training in, and continue to compete. For some of these other countries in Central Europe, they get to compete against each other all the time from a young age at the Alpine Cup. But Kazakhstan and the US, for example, don't really have that luxury. But next up on the bar, Team Finland waiting for the green light. That's the green. She has 10 seconds to go. And on the hill now, this is Julia Aikia from Finland. Finnish team really impressing me so far today. Great to see that jump from Julia. We were talking before about the Finnish team on the World Cup. On the women's side, we have Julia Kikkonen, who's been there kind of leading the way for a while. Jenny Rautinaho coming up behind her and now very strong on the World Cup. But great jump for Julia, 76 meters, and Finland into the lead. At the top now, I'm sure the US fans just haven't had a rest. Next up, Sandra Sprock from the US. Good looking jump for Sandra. Sandra has really impressed me this week. She's done so well. She competed here in the World Cup on the large hill, made it through her first qualification, and delivering another fantastic jump, 85 meters for Sandra. And that is a great, great effort. Remember, the US right now, they need to get in front of Kazakhstan to make it into that second round. Luckily, they had Sandra and Josie coming up in this round to rely on. US into 4th, ahead of Kazakhstan for now. Now, this athlete, I spoke to this before, Ingrid Latte, just absolutely incredible. Competing for Nordic Combined and ski jumping. And one of their top contenders obviously medaled in the individual ski jumping event. And she's going to be doing her best to deliver once again for her team and for her country. Waiting for the green light, and here it is. She has 10 seconds to go, and waiting for the coach's flag. Here she comes, Ingrid Latte from Norway. A little late on the timing, tips hanging, and honestly, that wasn't the very best jump we've seen from Ingrid, but like I said, she's had an incredibly busy schedule. Trying to compete in both disciplines is not easy, and she really came through yesterday in the individual event. 85.5 meters, and Norway into the lead. Looking at the style points coming through, wind compensation. Next athlete from Switzerland, Anja Imhoff. You know the name Imhoff, her brother Remo, also on the World Cup. Here comes Anja. Decent effort for her, coming from gate 25, and a 73-meter jump for Anja. Switzerland doing their best to bring up the next generation, continue to be a force to be reckoned with on the World Cup. Sometimes it takes a while, but they are putting in the work. Switzerland into 3rd, right behind Finland. Next up at the top, we have Austria. Austrians looking to make up some ground from the first round. Here she comes. This is Pia Stütz from Austria. A little tailwind, but doing her best. And not really the huge jump we were looking for. And remember, Austria had the likes of Julia Mühlbacher jumping with them last year. Julia also a contender on the World Cup. So sometimes it takes a little bit for the younger athletes to make their way up the rankings. So we're glad to have Pia here. We're glad she's getting some valuable experience overseas, and the chance to come to the U.S. is pretty incredible. But next athlete on the hill now, Julina Kreibach from Germany. Oh, the German fans are here, and a beautiful jump for Julina. I always know the Germans can be relied upon at the junior events. Always have such a strong team, and that was a beautiful 90-meter effort for Germany. That was a great looking jump for her. And look at that, scores coming in. Germany into the lead. Now, 2 athletes left at the top part of group number 3. We have Japan and Slovenia. First up for Japan, Yu Saito. Good jump for Yu. And not quite the distance that she was looking for, but a solid effort. Somewhere in the mid-80 range, 82.5 meters. Definitely won't be enough to compete with the Germans right now, but it will be enough to slide Japan into second place. 1 team remains at the top. That is the Slovenian team. Now this is a name we know. She was very good already. Tina Ercar from Slovenia. Good looking height, flying down the hill, close to that K point. But Tina is disappointed. We saw her jumping in the World Cup as well here in Lake Placid. Slovenians, some of them arrived early. And she looks to be a little disappointed with that effort. Let's see where that places them. 85 meters for Tina. And Slovenia into third. Podium after Group 3, Germany, Japan, Slovenia. Team USA sitting in 8th place right now. Very close, between 0.3 points between the US and Kazakhstan. So it's going to come down to the wire. It's going to come down to this final group of the first round to see who's going to advance into the second and final round. Looks to be we're going to see a shift in the start gate, going down to gate number 24. So we'll have to wait for that, and then we'll see another 4-jumper before we get into the final group of round number 1. Looking at the points, Germany with a commanding 26.6 point lead ahead of Japan. Slovenia 37.8 points back from the lead as well, so that's close. And Norway actually quite close behind, 41.6 points back. So they know that sitting at the top of the hill, they have some very strong athletes waiting to jump. One of which, of course, the individual champion, Ingvild Midtskogen. There looks like we were getting a view of that final 4-jumper, and we will be underway shortly from gate number 24. Here we go, onto the bar now. Remember, this is a tight competition right now between Kazakhstan and the US for the top 8. First contender, Alyona Spidorenko from Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan's strongest jumper, and a good-looking jump for her. Remember, she's coming from gate 24, so that's the lowest gate we've seen today. And a 75-meter effort for Alyona. Holding the telemark almost through the fall line. But let's see how it plays out. Next up, from Finland. Here she comes. This is Sofia Mattila. Sofia very aggressive with the angle, but not a lot of legs behind it. And again, when you're at this low speed, that takeoff is so critical. So although she looks very good, like her skis look good, stylish telemark, the less speed you have, the more challenging. 78.5 and puts Finland into the lead. Now, on the bar now is the next contender from the United States of America, from Park City, Utah. Here she comes. This is Josie Johnson. Josie, an absolute flyer if I've ever met one. Beautiful ride for Josie. If you can see the angle from the side, her tips are usually somewhere behind her ears, and she loves to fly 91 meters. She's really doing a great job of dialing it back a little bit for this normal hill. You know, she's still a junior, so she still needs to compete here, and she's doing such a great job. And that will secure the U.S. a spot in the final round. So great jump for Josie. U.S. into 4th place for now.
Okay, so the next team up is going to be Norway on the hill right now.
And exciting stuff. Oh, okay. And the exciting stuff happening while we aren't paying attention. 96 meters for Ingvild Sinova Midtskogen. That was the longest ride we've seen today, and Norway looking for the gold today. Great looking jump for her. 17.5s from the judges. Great effort. Up on the bar now, this is Selina Wasser from Switzerland. Good jump, Selina, trying to keep the upper body low. So Switzerland choosing to put Sina Arnett in the first group with Selina Wasser in the final. Sometimes it's a strategy to get a little bit more speed for some of the jumpers where then you can really make the difference. Switzerland coming in 7th place, so U.S. moving up in the standings. Switzerland, we will see you in the next round. 4 teams at the top. First up, from Austria, Megan Watzak. Here she comes. Aggressive direction and a solid jump for Megan. Remember, the Austrian team maybe not delivering as we know to expect from the Austrians, but 85 meters for Megan. Good looking ride, and I think she'll be pleased with that effort. Putting Austria into 4th place, so currently behind Norway and Finland. Norway with a massive lead. Left up to the top 3 countries, Germany, Japan, and Slovenia. Here comes Kim Amy Duschek from Germany. Kim so direct with that line, and I don't think she's going to be happy with that. She has shown us better jumps on this hill. It looks like she was trying to take a note out of Ingvild Midtskogen's book, really low with the upper body, trying to drive, but 78.5 isn't really the distance she was looking for. Germany into 2nd place for now. Looking back to the top of the hill, Japan, 2nd to last to go, Yuzuki Sato. Yuzuki doing a great job. We've been pleased to see her on the World Cup. Kind of a new name to the top levels, but Yuzuki absolutely delivering once again here. That replay you're seeing is Kim Amy from Germany, so don't get confused. Yuzuki Sato, 86.5 meters, and Japan into 3rd place. Now, Taya Bodlai, here she comes. Bronze medalist from the individual. Very experienced jumper and delivering close to that K point. I would say that was a solid jump from Taya. Not really, crushing it, but remember they're competing from Ingvild's gate. So Ingvild Midtskogen delivered 96 meters. That was 87 meters for Taya and for Slovenia, moving Slovenia into 4th place. So let's take a moment to breathe and look at the standings after the first round. Remember, top 8 teams will advance into the final round, and as it looks like now, there's still a lot that can happen in the podium area. Here are the current standings after the first round. Norway with a hair of a lead ahead of Germany, ahead of Japan, Slovenia. Looking at the point spread, 15.9 points within the top 4. I think a lot can change there. US moving from 10th all the way up to 7th after that final couple jumpers, so that's big progress for them. Let's see if they can continue the climb up to the top 6 would be great. Remember, the US team just having such an exciting event, just finishing up moments before this. Team USA coming away with that surprise bronze medal, come from behind, and it was absolutely incredible. Such a great experience for the teams. And of course, on the women's side, this Norwegian-US partnership also very inspiring. The US women are training with the Norwegians all the time, so they know what they're competing against, and they're also, very good friends. Josie Johnson, the first one to greet Ingvild out in the finish area after she secured the gold medal in the individual competition. So all great stuff, but I'm going to take a little break and see you guys here for the second and final round. You can see final round scheduled for 55 past the hour wherever you are. I'm not going to start doing the calculations, but that's 7:55 local time. Looking forward to seeing you back here for the second and final round of the Normal Hill team for the women here in Lake Placid, New York.
Family found the comfort out there. There's one thing going wrong like that. The ski jumpers are just so sensitive to these things in the air. Their skis, their setup, how their bodies are mounted. The feel of those skis makes such a big difference in your confidence in how they come up to you and how you get over the top of them out of the air. So that's a huge obstacle to overcome. Nothing you would want for the Junior World Championship, but she's doing a wonderful job out there for the Norwegian team. Well, certainly when you have a fall and you think it might be the ski not going to do a whole lot for your confidence. Today she's on Chesney skis, feeling a little bit more comfortable, had a great jump in her first jump of the competition. We've got 4 more jumps up to the top of the hill. We're going to get going really soon here. Get ready for the second round of jumps out here for the women's team event in the normal hill competition. A request for a song to be played over the PA system. Listen to this. Pipe up the girls at the top of the jump. Here we go. All single ladies. You know, and if you do happen to find yourself single on Valentine's Day, the ski jumpers do have some lines that might help you out. One we heard earlier up at the top of the hill, a jumper was saying, I think it was a 4 jumper just said, is it windy up here or are you just blowing me away? We got to keep it light, we got to keep it fresh here. We're minutes away from the women's team normal hill. Yeah, there you have it. Okay, no patience for cheesy Valentine's Day pickup lines, but we're having fun. We're keeping it loose here in the Adirondacks. Once again, sports friends, if you're just joining us here, a hearty welcome. We are 10 minutes to go now until the final thrilling finale. 8 teams bringing it all to the table here. Lake Placid
Ski jumping fans, welcome back. We are about 1 minute away from the start of the second and final round of the women's normal hill team event at the FIS Nordic Junior World Ski Championships 2025 in Lake Placid, New York, USA. In the past couple of hours, we've had a thrilling competition on the men's side, and now we are halfway through the women's team normal hill competition. First round complete. The top 8 teams from the first round will be competing for the medals in this final round. Remember, for the format of the team event, there are 4 athletes per nation competing. They each jump in a group, and then at the end, in the final round, or the final group, group number 4, the athletes will compete in reverse order based on the standings of the competition. So by the very end of the show, you will know exactly who's going to end up on the podium. Now, we had a very exciting first round, and it is still very close up at the top. Here you can see the starting order on your screen. But remember, this is based on the original starting order. This isn't reverse order. This isn't based on the results from the first round. But I believe we are kicking it off now. On the hill is Usa Ture from Finland. And a great jump for Usa. We are coming from gate 27. And Usa really showing that although she is one of the younger athletes coming up through the Finnish development program, she's doing such a fantastic job. 83 meters for Usa on that one. That will keep Finland up in the lead. They are in 5th place after the first round, so you can see 3-meter improvement for her. But one team we're excited to have here in the U.S. on American soil. This is Kaya Copenhaver on the bar now, coming from gate 27. She is waiting for the coach's flag, and that's a red light, so she's getting off the bar now. U.S. currently sitting in 7th place after the first round. So we saw some great jumps from her teammates. Kaya excited to be here, excited to be part of this team and this competition. Hopefully able to show us some great action when she gets back on the bar. Standing by. Podium after the first round: Norway, Germany, Japan. Slovenia sitting a little bit further back in 4th, and Finland in 5th, followed by Austria, USA, and Switzerland. So it might be a little confusing. You're used to the second round. You're used to it being in reverse order. This is still the same order as we started with, except for the fact that we've cut it to the top 8 teams. So Kazakhstan, unfortunately, didn't make it past the first round, and they will be waiting at the bottom cheering. So not sure what's going on around up there, but we have already started the competition. Remember, we just saw Usa Ture from Finland. And we are sending one more trial jumper. Hard to say what the reasoning is, but it's important, especially with these frost rail tracks, to keep the track clear. That's why they sometimes, when there's a longer break, they send a 4-jumper, basically to make sure that the track is still sliding normally and that everyone has fair conditions. It's been a long day here at the Lake Placid Mackenzie Intervale ski jumps, but the wait has definitely been worth it. We've seen some incredible jumps. There you can take a look at the standings now. Finland, the only one who has taken the first jump in the second round. We're sending another trial jumper, and then we'll be underway with Kaya. So hopefully the U.S. fans are enjoying this time of night. The Europeans, I'm happy if you're joining me. It's definitely a little late for you, but we're happy to have you here joining us in Lake Placid. And it's going to be an exciting final round, 8 teams, and at the end of it, we will see the podium. just take a moment to reflect on the men's competition that was thrilling. Austria running away with the gold medal, followed by Slovenia, and then the shock of the games, Team USA coming in third with a Junior World Championship team medal on the normal hill. That was such an exciting experience, and the coaches just had to race back up to the top because here it's time for the women, and that's where we are now. So here we go, ready with Kaja Copenhaver on the hill. Kaja, a little bit of an improvement on that one. Still a little struggling with the timing, but a decent effort for Kaja. Again, we're excited to give her this experience. Excited to see her competing against the best in the world. Scores coming in now for Kaja. That was a 52.5-meter ride for her. And proud to see the U.S. here through to the final round, and let's see how this all plays out. Next athlete, Nora Helena Evans. Nora being called up at the last second, but a much better ride for her there. Good looking jump for Nora. Remember, unfortunately, her teammate Kjersti had a big injury here in the individual competition, and she's actually joining us in the booth at the venue, so she'll be definitely, you'll hear her voice if you're in the stands here. Unfortunately for you on the live stream, you're stuck with me, but good jump for Nora, and Norway into the lead. Next athlete to come, Switzerland, currently sitting in 8th place, so nowhere to go but up for Switzerland. Here she comes. This is Sina Arnett. Good looking jump for Sina, and we lost her a little bit in the air, but a great jump close to that K point, somewhere around that 85 and a half meters for Sina. Sina, a more experienced World Cup jumper, so great to see Kaja really standing up there with the best in the world right now. And good looking jump for Sina. Let's see how that does for Switzerland. So Switzerland moving ahead of the US right now. And that brings us back to the top of the hill. Here comes Austria, Sarah Pokorny. Late on the timing, but looking for that extension. Remember, she was moving around a little bit in the first round in the air. That was a bit of an improvement, I would say. 79 meters. Waiting for the scores to come in. Let's watch the replay. So you can see a little late feet falling under a little bit, but just really trying to make the most of that. So 7-meter improvement for Sarah, so I think she'll be pleased with that. And Austria into 5th right now. On the hill now from Germany, Leah Böhme. Good looking jump for Leah. Oh, wow. Sending it over that K point. That will be so important for Germany. Remember, Germany was only 0.4 points behind Norway after that first round. And jumps like this are so important to have, especially at the beginning of the round. Brings a lot of momentum in with the team, but what a beautiful flight there from Leah. 93 meters. Oh, she's going to be happy, and she knows her job is done now. Next on the hill, Kika Sakamoto from Japan. Japan sitting in 3rd after the first round. Kika trying to stretch down the hill, but not getting anywhere close to that jump we just saw from Leah. 81.5 meters. So that won't be enough to bump Germany out of that leader spot, but I think it'll be enough to keep them in 2nd place. And there it is, 2nd place for Japan at the moment.
Japan, Norway currently in 3rd position.
Moving to the next competitor. This is where it gets really important. Slovenia right now, they're in 4th place. So Slovenia, if they want a medal, each and every one of these athletes needs to have a better jump in this round. All right, here she comes. This is Lucia Jurgic. Solid effort into that 80 range. Now let's see how that comes, and you know, with jumps like that, it's important to just stay in the mix. So there it is, 80 meters for Lucia. Flying her way down the hill. Nice telemark. Getting rewarded from the judges. And remember, Lucia's first round was not her standard. So 80 meters for her, that is going to be a huge improvement. And actually might relieve a bit of that pressure from her teammates up at the top. Here's current standings after one of 4 groups. We saw a little shifting. Norway falling back from first, but remember, they started with their weakest jumper in Group 1, so that means that there's still a chance for everybody. Look at the fans are still out here today. We're seeing some U.S. parents, Germans. It's really impressive to see some of these parents, family members, fans making the trip all the way from across the pond to visit us here in Lake Placid. And they will be waving to the fans at home. Whether the fans are still awake at this hour, we're not sure, but happy to see that. So after the first group, Germany, Japan, Slovenia, 1, 2, 3. On to group number 2, 8 athletes in group 2, kicking it off. Finland. Here comes Amelia. This is Amelia Widgren from Finland. Good direction. Solid jump for Amelia. Finland with a very solid starting position after the first round. They were in 5th place, right behind Slovenia. There was a bit of a gap there, but good to see Finland very clearly in the mix, and Finland into the lead for now. All right, next athlete from the United States of America. Waiting for the green light, and here she comes. This is USA's Estella Hazarek. Whoa, good jump for Estella. She moved around a little bit there. Maybe was trying to do a little extra in the team event. You always want to deliver. There's a lot more at stake than just in the individual. So Estella trying to get a little rotation there in the second half. Getting a little off balance, but little 1.5 meter improvement for Estella, 70 meters, and puts the U.S. into 6th place. All right, Kjersti's sister on the bar. Kjersti's definitely cheering from the commentator's booth. Her sister Ingrid had a great first round jump. You can see that to be only 62 meters, so Norway knows what they have to do. They were in the lead after the first round. And let's see how she delivers. Really impressed by the ability of this family. I think it's been a rough couple days, but here she is. Here comes Ingrid. This is Ingrid Gressli on the hill from Norway. A little late on the timing, but really getting that rotation. Solid telemark landing. Here you can see skis coming a little bit hard at the first part, but she really was able to rotate that and put the skis down at 80.5 meters. Slight decrease in distance for Ingrid, but that still is enough to put Norway into the lead for now. All right, moving through the competition, we are on to bib number 5. Here she comes from Switzerland, Julia Bells. Also struggling with the timing and not really getting the distance. We're happy to have Julia here in Lake Placid, happy to have Switzerland competing in this event. 67.5 meters. So for some of these athletes, this is the end of the World Championships for them. The top 2 will probably be selected to compete in the mixed team event. But let's see what the next athlete can show us. Austria getting a little bit further back than expected. So nowhere to go but up for her. This is Louisa Tvicha. Louisa a little late, but overall a solid jump for her. Coming out of gate 27 in a distance of 72.5 meters. Small athlete trying to keep her skis flat. So really doing the important basic steps, making sure she has a long career ahead of her. And nice to get that big competition experience here in Lake Placid, New York. On the hill now, Anna Faye Schaffenberger. Oh yeah, that's more like it. Close to that K point, you could hear the German fans. They were cheering, they were excited. 86.5 meters. And look at the second half of her flight. That's where she really excels. Just continuing to drive right into that telemark. Makes it really much easier to fly. And Germany into the lead. So Germany ahead of Norway right now. But a few teams still up at the top. 2 teams left. Japan. Riko Iwasaki. Riko also getting down close to that K point. Very good jump for her. 87 meters. And remember these final athletes, this was the podium from last year. So Slovenia, Japan, and Germany. Riko and Team Japan into second, 19.3 points behind Germany. Final athlete of the first round. Second group, Tinkara Komar. Tinkara with a better jump, also close to that 90-meter range. That is great for her. Slovenians were in 4th place, so they are going to try to bump close to Japan if they can. Let's see, the results are coming in. And Slovenia into 3rd place. So Norway currently off of the podium. We have Germany, followed by Japan, Slovenia, Norway, Finland, Austria, Switzerland, and the United States. However, 2 groups remain at the top. You can take a look at the point spread. That will help you figure out how much movement is possible in these final 2 groups. Remember, Norway, you can't count them out yet. They have their 2 strongest athletes still to come. So we'll see if they decide to move the gate again. And soon enough, we will be kicking off group number 3. Nordic Junior World Ski Championships, Lake Placid. There you can see the banner on the knoll of the large hill. So we switched around the decorations a little bit from World Cup to the Junior World Championships. Getting to use both hills, really important. A lot of investment went into renovating these jumps, bringing them back up to the modern specs that are needed for international competitions of this level. Very, very proud to be hosting the ski jumping and Nordic Combined portions of the Junior World Championships, and also, of course, that incredible World Cup weekend we just finished up last week. German fans, teammates are cheering loud. The men, you know, they just finished up their competition. So they're just taking it all in. So again, we're still just jumping in bib order. No reverse order yet. And here comes Finland and Julia Aikia. Good jump for Julia, landing a little bit forward, but overall solid effort for her. Finland will be trying to retain their position. They're currently in 5th place. But that puts Finland into first place, 81.5 meters for Yulia, and an improvement. So that's all we can ask for. All right, next athlete. This is one to watch now and in the future. Here she comes, Sandra Sprock from the United States. Yes, let's go, Sandra. Great jump for her. And she got the heart and the arrow for Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh, it's great to see that energy, especially after such a long day. Great to see the teammates there in the finish. Sandra absolutely delivering for her team today. Great effort, 87 meters. And this is where it gets interesting. Here we go, Team Norway. Ingrid Lotte, Nordic Combined skier, ski jumper. She does it all. Medalist from yesterday. Big improvement for her, yes. That is great. She struggled a little bit on her first round. Remember, not quite getting down over that K point, but now she's back. She's back and she's in full form. I don't think she liked that. Oh, and there you see her teammate Chersty out in the finish area with her team and her sister. Great to see that team spirit. All right, next up from Switzerland, Anja Imhoff. Anja a little late and not quite finding the bottom of the hill, but happy to have Switzerland here competing, competitive. Had a great championships last year. And that was a 79-meter jump for Anja, putting Switzerland just ahead of the United States. Next up, from Austria. Here she comes. This is Pia Stutz. A little late on the timing. Her right ski was hanging a little bit, and she tried to make the most out of it. It wasn't the most dynamic, connected jump that we've seen from Pia here. See a little bit of hesitation in the body language there in the flight. Sometimes, but anyway, improvement in distance, so we'll take that. Next up, 3 countries remaining. Here comes Germany, Julina Kreibach. Very strong jump, and over that K point. Great job for Julina. Germany, remember, sitting in second place after that first round. So she is not going to make it easy on the Norwegians. Very strong jump, 91 meters. Waiting for the scores to come in and puts Germany into first position. First place for Germany ahead of Norway. 2 teams at the top in Group 3 remain. All right, here comes the next athlete. This is Yu Saito from Japan. Oh, big jump from Yu. She is going to be so happy with that. And look at that reaction. That meant a lot for her. She is happy to be here in Lake Placid, flying and showing us her best tonight under the lights here in the team event. 90 meters, beautiful telemark. And look at that satisfaction. Great jump. 2 teams left. Here we go. Next up, Tina Ersar from Slovenia. Oh, big jump. Oh, you can tell she heard that from the top. You can hear when someone goes far, you can see their height over the knoll. Tina said, I am going to do that, but a little more. 93.5 meters. Such a strong telemark, and Tina just delivering. Excuse me, 95.5. Slovenia into second, 11.5 points behind Germany. But right now that means that they are on the podium. This is a standing after 3 of 4 groups, 1 group remaining, 1 jumper left. So when you look at the points, remember it has to be enough for only 1 jumper to be able to make that up. Germany in a safe place. Norway 37.4 points back from the lead. Remember, they were leading after the first round. But They have their junior world champion still sitting at the top. This is going to be an exciting final group of jumpers, and we will see at the end of this who is on the podium and who will be the junior world champions in the team. Slovenia, the champions from last year in their home country of Planica. Second place from last year, Japan, and third place, Germany. But it looks to me that Germany is looking for gold today. So we will be seeing a trial jumper, see if they decide to change the gate or not. But please stick around. If you've made it this far, it's only 8 jumpers remaining, and we appreciate those staying up into the late hours of the morning, early hours of the morning, late hours of the evening, wherever you are in the world. Happy to have you here with us in Lake Placid. Right there, you can see they're moving the bar around a little bit. We will see a 4 jumper. Looks like Tony Benzie up there from the United States. He'll be showing us how it's done. So, looks like we are moments away from starting this final group of jumpers. Here you can see the visual of the gondolas the athletes take to get from the bottom to the top. That's where they get changed before climbing the stairs up to the top of the normal hill. Fans are sticking it out. You can see gathered there on the right. And here, take a look. This is the starting order for the last group, and these are your contenders. Remember, we're in the final group. This is reverse order. The last country to go is the one that is leading. So Kim Emmy Duszek from Germany will have a lot riding on her when she sits up at the top of the hill. Taya Bodlai from Slovenia, yesterday's bronze medal winner. She knows how to compete under pressure, and we'll see how she does. But for all of the sports fans out there, make sure you are ready to go, because we're going to be seeing our very own Josie Johnson from the United States here competing on home soil, kicking off this final group. Josie's always a force to be reckoned with. We've seen some incredible jumps from her over the past couple months. She excels on the large hills, but also doing very, very well here on the normal hill at the Junior World Championships in Lake Placid. Final trial jumpers. And here she is on the bar now. Looks like we will be coming out of gate 25. And we're ready to start the final group of jumpers. On the hill now. Here she comes. This is Josie Johnson from the United States. Missed her a little bit in the air. Good looking jump, not quite into that 90+ meter range that she was looking for, but you can see she's excited to be here, excited to be part of this team, and a 90.5 meter jump, so my apologies. Angle made it a little tricky to see how far that was going, so great jump for Josie, and great jump for the US team. Their work here is done. On the hill now, from Switzerland, Selina Vasa. Selina not quite getting the distance that we just saw from Josie, so will that be enough to keep the US ahead of Switzerland? We will have to wait and see. Scores are coming in. Distance of 69.5 for Selena. 7th place, that puts Switzerland behind the United States. So US up 1 from 8th place into 7th. At the top now, from Austria, Megan Watzak. Megan is a very strong competitor from Austria. And another beautiful jump, very solid, close to that K point. But she also looks like she's still not having the jumps she wants. That was an 85-meter ride. So a little bit shorter than Josie's jump from before, but Austria had a bit of a lead there coming into this final group. Austria stays in the lead. Right on the hill now. This is Sofia Mattila from Finland. Ooh, nice jump for Sofia. That was a great jump for the Finnish athlete. Nice to see that. 82.5. Really good flight position. You can see very stable with the arms and skis, making the most out of it. And Finland clearly soaring into the lead for now. But I heard some rumors there was some movement at the top of the hill. And I believe that means there's going to be a reduction in the speed for the next competitor. Let's see if we get a visual. Yep, there we can see. Ooh. So 3 gates down from this round. Okay. So 3 gates down for Ingvild Sinova Midtskogen, your gold medalist from the individual competition. Here she comes from Norway. She needs to go 95 meters to get that gate compensation. Can she do it? Ingvild so confident. Ooh. And I don't think the gamble was worth it not getting the distance. 86.5 meters. But you have to know Ingvild, she has some big goals this season. And Norway into the lead for now. The U.S. trying to pump up their Norwegian teammates. Yeah, we'll just have to see how that plays out. Unfortunately, the Norwegians really trying to be a little bit cautious. They already had 1 injury here, and Ingvild is looking at the Senior World Championships in Trondheim, Norway. So that's probably where that decision came from. But here we go. On to the next athlete from Japan. This is Yuzuki Sato. And a good looking jump for Yuzuki over that K point. Remember, we're back up to gate 25, so we moved back to where we were before. And 91.5 meters for Yuzuki. Japan, I assume, flying into the lead. Let's see, and there it is. First place for Japan. And looking up to the top, that is a guaranteed medal for Japan. On the hill now, Taya Bodlai from Slovenia. Can she outjump Japan? Beautiful ride over that K point, getting the telemark in. Now it all is going to come down to the points, come down to the separation. 91.5 as well, so matching the distance. And a pretty solid telemark, so she'll get good points from the judges. But they are waiting for the scores to come in. Here comes the bar. Here comes the scores. And there it is. That is a silver medal guaranteed for Team Slovenia. 1 remains at the top. Like I said, this athlete has a lot riding on her shoulders right now. Team Germany, they are looking for the gold. And here she comes. This is Kim-Amy Duszek. Beautiful jump. So confident, but a little short on the distance. Oh boy, Slovenia had a 2.6 point lead ahead of Japan. Germany, I think they had a little bit of a buffer. We'll have to wait for the scores to come in, but this is going to be tight. Ooh, Amy. Kim-Amy,
Slovenia.
Scores are coming in.
And there you go. Those
Oh, they're nervous. They're nervous.
great performances there. Norway in
And there it is. That is first place for Germany.
third.
Looks like they haven't gotten the message yet, but we have over here on the screen.
Under 5.
Let's wait for the reaction.
These 3 teams, so it's a nail biter of a competition. What an exciting event.
Oh boy.
We're gonna be
I wish we could just tell them.
with our podium and award ceremony to celebrate our
Frustration, you can feel it.
thrilling evening under the lights here in Lake Placid.
Turn around. They're crossing their fingers. They don't know if the gold is theirs or not. Is it going to be gold? Well, we already know that it is, but we'll wait for it to play out with the athletes. And there it is. There you can see the reaction. They know the gold is theirs. That is a big moment. The coaches are coming through with the German flag. And that is the reaction we were waiting for. Junior World Champions in the team event, Team Germany. So our podium for today, Germany, Slovenia, Japan, and Norway in 4th, followed by Finland, Austria, United States in 7th, Switzerland, and Kazakhstan. So that concludes an exciting day of ski jumping here in Lake Placid, New York. Thank you all for staying up late and joining us through this thrilling competition. And congratulations to all the competitors today. There you can see the final results from the normal hill. First place, Germany. Second place, Slovenia. Third place, Japan. And that is our podium. So switching out up from last year. Last year's champion, Slovenia, followed by Japan and Germany. Same 3, but a different order this year. Congratulations to all the competitors and a great day on the hill. Luckily, we still have 2 more days of competition here in Lake Placid at the Junior World Ski Championships. Thank you for joining me. It's been Nina Lucy. It's been an absolute pleasure to be with you here today. And feel free to stick around for the prize giving ceremony, which will happen shortly at the bottom of the hill.
drop the puck. Let's go. Go. Yeah. I know what I'm doing. Be around when this is over because I'm bagging.
Fans and guests, the medal ceremony for the FIS Ski Junior World Championships Team Jump Women. Please welcome the medalists.
And it is time to welcome our medalists to the podium. This is the FIS Women's Team Junior World Ski Championships event. And here we go in third place.
The medals will be presented by Rebecca Dayton, the New York State Olympic
We're gonna wait
Regional
for them.
Development Authority Vice President of Events and Sport Management. Gifts will be presented by Tracy Smith, Olympic Regional Development Authority Senior Manager
Is that
of
the
Events
Michelin
and
Man
Sport
out there?
Programming. Third place and bronze medalist, Japan.
Third place and bronze medalist from Japan, Kika Sakamoto, Riko Iwasaki, Yu Saito, and Yuzuki Sato.
Second place and silver medalist, Slovenia.
They don't even have this.
And in second place, your silver medalist from Slovenia,
Taya Bodlai.
Lucia Jurgic, Tinkara Komar, Tina Erzar, and Taya Bodlai.
First place, gold medalist and women's normal hill team junior world champions, Germany.
And first place, your gold medalist in today's team event, Team Germany, Leah Burme, Anna Faye Schaffenberg, Julina Kreibich, and Kim Amy Dushek. Big congratulations to all of our teams today, and congratulations to the podium.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of Germany.
And there you have it, folks. Thank you very much for joining me. Congratulations to the podium, and thank you very much. Hope to see you back here in Lake Placid tomorrow for some more ski jumping and Nordic Combined action. That's it for now. This has been Nina Lucy. Happy to have you joining me, and see you back on the hill soon.
All right, you got enough polish on this?